The word collegiate is spelled very interestingly.
That's how you spell collegiate.
That wasn't. I'm making tweeters.
Oh, the way you just spelled collegiate.
Yeah, that. Yes.
You are.
That's what it looks like.
Although we see our faces, and if we're supposed to see the live program, then you have studio mode on, which is my.
Welcome everyone to our first match of the Unified Collegiate League's Fall Premier Valorant League. That's a lot of words I just said. With me here tonight is Time Delight. Both of us are going to say a lot of words. at you quickly, and hopefully you'll understand most of them. My name is Mechatronic. We have a match tonight between Radford University's Valorant team and Briar Gold from Briar University. How you doing
Yeah,
tonight, mate?
Briarcliff. I'm honestly excited to finally get into Unified. I've been hanging out around these servers for a very long time. I think I've worked a couple weeks of play 2 years ago, but it's nice to be back in the fray and back with the MEC.
Yeah, so we tonight we've got a match between Briarcliff, as I said before, who are either the winner or the runner-up from Valorant last fall, against Radford University, which is a new team to our little league here in the Unified Collegiate League. Um, Briarcliff has a lot of returning players from that team that was so dominant a year ago in Freight and Milk and Hariri, and we'll see if they can continue their dominance over this year. We do have a map pick and ban already. So just to give you some knowledge of what's going to happen for the rest of the night, we will be starting on Bind at Briarcliff University pick. We'll then go to Abyss from Radford University. And then if we need map 3, we will be on Haven.
Yeah, Haven, a nice little map 3 decider. I gotta say, I'm not too upset with this map pool. Usually, every time I see a map pool and I'm like, another Valorant best of 3 in Collegiate. But today, it's decent. I mean, seeing Haven and Bind, sure, whatever. But Abyss has become a little bit more of a staple in the T3/Collegiate levels. I'm seeing at least some fair amounts of consistency. So I think today will be decent. Will we see Haven? I don't know. But if we do, most of these teams should have a decent track on Haven, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Haven's been around for literally ever.
Ever.
So
Yeah.
if you don't know how to play Haven at this point, there's probably a reason you don't know how to play Haven. This brings up a totally separate matter. I think that every single map 3 in a series should be legally required to have 3 sites on it. I feel like that only makes sense.
Mm-mm. I think every single map 3 in a series should be like a basic map. That's I don't care how many sites it has. It has to be a basic map because I feel like that
It
rubber
needs to
match
be
needs to be good.
the Dust 2 of Valorant or something like that.
It's like no, the Mirage of Valorant. Don't.
Okay.
I feel like Ascent is a good map 3. I love when
I
Ascent is map 3.
I'm a big
Haven
Ascent
is a
map
good
3.
map 3. I'm honestly fine with Breeze even map 3. No, nowadays I don't know. I used to be okay with Breeze map 3, but that's okay.
I'm always good for split map 3.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
good.
if it's an old map, I could just kind of feel like it's a good map
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
It's got to be an
If it's a
old
map
map.
that a lot of teams consistently like and or consistently play, I think it should be top 5 in terms of map pick percentage. If you're playing like Abyss map 3, it's going to be abysmal. I'm sorry. I've been casting with him for about 3 minutes, and I've already
Yep.
made him take the headset off. I
Yep.
feel like that's a new record.
It may be. We'll see if we can break any more other records tonight. But let's turn our attention to Bind. What do we think we're looking for in terms of comps here ahead of time? Um, just in
So
terms of agents and what we think we're going to see right now in our meta that we're
So,
in.
I'll give some free advertisement to a site that I very often use because I think they've deserved it with the information they cherry pick for everybody. The Spike.gg is where I get a lot of the stats. Now, in all fairness, this is applicable to all regions at all levels. So this is a general average across the entire world over the last 90 days. But the top 5 in terms of agents selected in those last 90 days. Now, it doesn't account for any patch changes that have happened.
Mhm.
Are in order: Omen, Sova, Cypher, Jet, and Killjoy. But it also takes into account the compositions that are oftenly seen. In this case, about 8-9% of the time, it's Omen, Sova, Jet, Killjoy, and KO instead of Cypher. So keep that in mind as of late. We will probably see something along those lines. Now, there are obviously going to be some changes there. Breach is another fairly consistent factor. Gecko's in the top 7 or 8 in compositions, and you can always change out your controller or initiator depending on how comfortable teams are. But this is collegiate. A lot of times, it'll come down to who's comfortable on what rather than what is routinely the more optimum decision.
Yeah, it feels like since the beginning of Bind, we've just kind of seen Rays exist for every single map of Bind. And for a very long time, Killjoy has been in the meta for Bind. It feels
Yeah,
like that you lock
yeah,
down the B site with just a couple Killjoy bits and you don't worry about it anymore.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I do expect to see both those come through for both teams if they play the agents.
Yeah.
Any early expectations for Anything interesting? Any spicy picks you think we're gonna see? You think we're gonna see a
I
Vise tonight, or are we
no.
still a little early for that?
I hope not. Let's put it that way. A lot of leagues, like scholastic leagues, actually put inhibitants on or quarantines. I think are the terms in other games for new agents. I feel like that's probably the case in the MEC. I would not be surprised if that's the case here. We'll see what the agent selections are. BSU will start on your attacking side there on the right side of your screen. RU will be on the left and defending first off. It does not seem like a Vise is early indicated. However,
However,
Cypher, Gecko, both on the board. Deadlock, which is not, we'll say abnormal. It's certainly not a routine selection on a map like Bind, but hey, this could be a fairly routine selection depending on how things go.
it could be a
Deadlock is picked,
fairly routine selection for that team. I
yeah,
think
I
it's
mean,
actually the
10% of the
important part.
time across the board for teams. So
Mhm.
something to keep in mind.
So last season we saw Hariri play a lot of duelists, Freight play most of the initiators, and Milk play I think it was Astra controllers,
Okay.
Sentinels. So this does track with what we kind of expected. Hariri was one of the better duelists in the league, if not the best. So I do expect to see Hariri kind of do a lot here on Bind, especially playing the Rays. There is a mirror matchup on both sides with the Rays, the Gecko, the Skies, the Brimstones. The only difference here is the Cipher and the Deadlock.
Yeah, Deadlock not, I mean, abnormal, but certainly a niche selection for some teams. I would like to see how the Jet missing for both of these teams decides to play off, and we're missing an over. Oh, no.
We're
Oh,
not
now
missing
we
an
have the
overlay.
overlay. No, we're still missing the overlay.
We're slightly at the over. all good. We'll get that in a moment as we wait for this first round to count down.
Yeah, we'll HUD is coming up in just a second. Observer
Soon.
is fixing that one. Observer has been working really cool events, so they haven't needed to have their HUD up.
Yeah,
When you work
exactly.
really cool events, you've got the custom HUD going, so you don't have the game HUD. It'll be
Exactly.
fixed in like 5 seconds. I think.
Maybe
I think you could
6.
change it in game. We'll see.
I'm pretty sure you can. Is there anything that we expect between this between the Cipher and the Deadlock here on like pick differentiation here? Because to
I
me the
mean,
Deadlock screams more attack focused and the Cipher screams more defense focused.
which is ironic considering they're on opposite
Yeah.
sides. Cypher
Well, to
starting on the
start.
attacking side. I feel like the Cypher allows a little bit more flexibility. Deadlock, you have to be set up for that to start, or you place a lot of your utility or abilities after the round begins, especially when you're on that defensive side, because a
Mhm.
lot of your abilities aren't direct hindrances, nor do they gain as much information as Cyphers. So watch for that. Watch for the Deadlock to be placing abilities post plant, maybe after once their team starts to play their defense a little bit more consistently outside of a pistol round, maybe as they're setting up a retake so they can prevent a flank themselves. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Also, if they play like a mid, they could just put down half of their utility to start the game and
Yeah.
they're perfectly fine.
I think that so what I want to point out for a lot of people at home is if you haven't watched a lot of Valorant, you're going to see something almost certainly happen in the first round here. Deadlock will be using their barrier mesh ability, which is this like X kind of wall thing that pops up. It is the most infuriating thing in a pistol round. Um, so you could shoot through it, but you can't walk through it, and you
Yeah.
can take the wall down by shooting some orbs. But it takes about 1,000,000 shots on pistol rounds. So if you watch a bunch of people trying to run into a wall, that's what's going to go on. Just so everyone's on the same page going into this.
So another favorite website of mine is the valorant.fandom.com. It just
Oh,
allows you a lot of
I mean,
information if you happen to be curious on a lot of abilities. If you're new to Valorant, valorant.fandom.com, start looking up different ability names and or agents. I use it because a lot of these patch notes throw off ability health, sometimes ability timing. In terms of the aforementioned barrier mesh, that little X that you'll see a couple times, uh, its health is 320 for the outside orbs or 680 if you wait 3 seconds to start shooting it. So if you shoot it in the first 3 seconds, it only has 320 health. There's the
only,
outside four. Only.
only,
If you
only.
shoot the inside four, or the inside singular, it's 570 for the first 3 seconds, and then after that it's 1200, which is a lot of health. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. So it seems that we may not have a HUD at all, and that's okay. We don't need HUDs where we're going.
Where we're going, we don't need HUDs.
Just note that Radford
Back to the
University.
Future's on Broadway now. Did you know that?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a new thing. I heard on the radio. I guess that's still listening.
That Radford University is on the attack side. I will note that we are past round 1, and you can tell that because they're Phantom spawn.
I took a second. I was like, wait, that's a lot of abilities for pistol round. Wait, that's a lot of weaponry for pistol round. Those aren't pistols. I'm gonna be honest. We don't know this. As much as we can be updated with it, we can see as much as you all do. Hopefully, get things figured out soon.
Spike down A. I know
exactly.
One enemy remaining.
Finding 2 before going down. They don't need all that much more. Neural theft will be used. But I think that's 4.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're done.
It's a little harder to do that. If we could get a tab hold to just see a score.
That was the close bracket. Maybe. Tab hold. Maybe so, I'm not sure.
All right, it is at least 0-0. I can say that with certainty.
Listening.
I'm in fact.
Did you just say it's at least 0-0? Hold on.
Yeah,
I need
and Radford University has at least 1 round because we just saw them win the round.
Well, masters of deduction here in the booth.
We truly know so many things about Valorant, and you can tell that from how we're speaking about it.
Yeah, Deadlock solo holding showers. Wingman finds thin air. Spike is down over towards market, and it seems like VCU and this attack are trying to set up a lot more towards that B side, but a general lurk over towards A just to make sure that, if anything, a rotation is triggered. Insanity seeing 2 players towards B long is helpful.
Smoke's down.
But they just threw paint shells up B long, and they went through the teleporter, so they did nothing.
Yeah, it's also, right now, the entire attack side is very spread out, so it's very difficult to kind of figure out what they want to do. You can see the sniper trap wires are actually really deep into places, at least comparatively deep. So you can see that they know that no one's pushed in front of them and pushed down anything, but they don't have a huge amount of map control themselves. This raise over on the Briar Cliff side is the one with the most
30 seconds left.
Looks like they're going to go on to B. Got the spike with them, but they take
they're
triple
picking
TB.
Wait, the problem is there's still a raise over towards that A side, and a Deadlock's rotating into heaven. Albeit the raise has a judge, so they're only really effective
Plant the
inside
spike
of the lamp. We'll see if anything goes in their general area. Shot from a distance, Deadlock aiming in this general direction. Reckon takes nearly all of their damage. Here's the showstopper. They're only finding Cypher with it. At a bare minimum, you find the kill. The spike has gone down. Keep an ear out for that plant, as it will not be at the top of your screen. 2 players set up around the shower's exit, 1 inside, 1 out.
1 enemy
the bench
remaining.
needs to be held down. We'll say as much as they can.
Oh, that's 1
versus 3 doesn't seem all that likely. So we already find the first kill. Perfect bait and switch though. Tenedy swings it. Insanity jumps in nearly an insane way, just to throw off the angle. And the 3v1 is not thrown away on the defensive side.
Yeah, they were able to come back and make sure to retake the site. And, I mean, that's all you can ask about, right? This defensive side right now for Radcliffe. I mean, that is literally all you can ask is that if they get the spike down, can you make sure that it's not going to harm you later? And they're able to continue their push here. And it seems like BCU is going to be on a really weak buy here. We see pistols coming around, a ghost bot, we saw a frenzy bot, we saw a sheriff bot. So they may look to try and do something quick here. And we'll see how that works out. Marshall will be the real weapon kind of invested.
That's really it, though.
That's
the
it,
main problem to this. You're not adding a heck of a lot in terms of kill value. I'd like to see them buy an outlaw. I mean, that's a thing. If body shots still do a heck of a lot more with that than they do with a marshal. But hey, headshots are headshots are headshots. 1 shot, 1 kill with that. Sometimes all you need. Shu solo outside of showers, but they've got some help from a distance, including now Sky Smoke, and sometimes that's all you need. Trailblazer finds info, and that's it.
It's gonna be 2 Sky Smokes coming through. Shu's gonna be completely smoked off. Dog will go out, does spot the Gecko, but not much more. Sky runs right in front of
Spike planted.
Shu. Freak will be able to get that 1 kill, but there won't be much more. He'll be able to trade back quickly. Spike did go down for Briarcliff, which is about all you can hope for in this round. Right, you can really hope that Spike goes down. You get a little little bit of cash off that. Number 2 is going to start trying to clear towards Challenge. 2 people there for Insanity. He's only got one, but he's got the other one. After he does get the trade from.
One enemy remaining.
Through. Just making sure that they clear everything here. This Gecko is the last one alive for the attacking side. Number 2 comes through, peeks. A lot of shots pushed both ways, but number 2 will grab the kill to end it. Radford University pulls through.
I mean, this defense seems just too overwhelming when they're retaking. They don't put too much towards the original site hold. They're thinking to themselves, yeah, we can give up the spike plant if we need to, as long as at the end of the round, we're able to bring back site control. And honestly, BCU was kind of put between a rock and a hard place there. There are 2 options where A, hey, let's push in with everything, dedicate everything, and take control of the site, and then plant the spike and have nothing for the post plant, or B, use nothing for the actual spike plant and lose the round.
Oh, that's a flub Cypher cam right there.
Good news, it regenerates. Bad news, it takes a while.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Tennedy's going to be able to
Barrier
jump
deployed.
past the corner, but sees 3, thinks better about forcing any further.
There goes that massive roadblock.
It's
1200
so big.
health. What is it? 30 damage or is it 40 damage per? It's 40 damage per shot from a Vandal, and quick multiplication would tell me that takes a full magazine to the middle of it.
Yeah, it's not great. It is very dominant to stop you from going to a location. It's kind of the particularly not here button for any team that has deadlock on it, right? I would like you to go particularly not here.
Go away.
Anywhere
that
but
is
right here.
It's like if ADT took some over enhancers. Go away. That's the general message. Number 2, walk in. Oh, turns around at the wrong time. See, now, there's no reason to turn back towards showers when you just
I've
walked
got
out of
your
showers.
trail.
and
30
nobody's been
seconds
making
left.
sounds behind you. Because you give that kill away, not only do you give up showers,
Found one.
but now you give up some of the site control as well.
Time
You
to
can't take in
hunt.
front of that with the same cabbages coming through.
Scout
Great
destroyed.
Molotov will delay and take more efficacy away from these smokes. How good is the timing? 14 seconds left. Amazing line for time.
10 seconds left.
They need 3.5
retrieved
seconds
the
minimum
spike.
to start planting the spike. Can they get it? But can they get it
One
down?
enemy
Yes,
remaining.
because
Spike.
Frank turns around and finds a kill. It becomes
Tendy with
Last
2.
It is
player
a
standing.
5v1. Make it 1v1. Somehow, Tenedy has found 4 kills from heaven and may send them all straight to hell.
He's got an idea.
1v1, the swing through the backside of lamps, and I think they saw the Cypher, but it comes down to predictability. Tenedy looking the right way, but not finding the angle at the right time. Mickle shut down the ace clutch 1v5, and BCU at a bare minimum win the round, but that was way too close for comfort.
Yeah, that became really close really quickly because you don't expect a deadlock coming through heaven. The deadlock was not particularly quiet coming through either. But, I mean, you don't expect a deadlock to get that much amount of benefit.
Sound
coming through
sensor
heaven.
up.
Instantly,
Listening.
so much benefit. That 4K kind of, regardless if Radford win the round or not, which they don't, there's so much monetary damage done to Briar Cliff. Prepare not being able to bring those weapons through. And you see that push forward here to Hariri having the judge.
Battle out.
Tenedy's hiding, and basically just playing as close to this as they can.
Sensor
Wingman
tricked.
going for a plan. Will not be able to get it off. Paint shells will shut them down from doing so. Wait! Yes, they will, just barely. But you have to trade 2 players for it. And Wingman for 2 players is a trade
Spike
BC will
planted.
take every day of the week, and they get a spike plan. 5v3 here looks pretty good for BC.
Those paint shells from Briar are going to make sure to clear out this angle, but I don't know if they're ready for Shu to be that far back, or for Offie to be right there as well, both watching this angle. Could dedicate the boombot to try and clear some of this. You'll know a little bit more information from it, but Hariri doesn't need to move much because BCU have the plant down already.
What? Shun just died straight to the wall. Now, granted, they're not going off of that. They throw a dizzy to feign the fact they are. Hopefully more players died of the spike, but teleporters here. You should be able to get out of dodge safely. Everybody will live, and BCU wins the round. I say everybody will live. Is this guy gonna win? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're all going to live. I think this is the first pretty convincing round that we've seen BCU win.
Remember to talk to each other out there.
I don't even know if
we
that's the
communicate,
first round they've won.
win.
No, it's the second.
They've definitely won
At
another
least.
round, but this is the first round that they've kind of won, and I've gone, yeah, they did the right things. They won the round. If that makes sense. Like the other round that they won was very sketchy. That was the 5v1 that happened 2 rounds ago. Super sketchy. But this round felt like they kind of used all their abilities in the correct way to start the round, to end the round, to keep the round going. And the only issue that happened was Gecko getting shot through the box, which what are you gonna do about that?
It just happens. I mean, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
Broken
or
clock,
in this case,
right, twice a day or something.
Yeah. There's enough idioms for that one.
Hawk out.
Hawk's gonna go out to start this round. We'll see how Freight wants to push here, or if he wants to push at all.
At this point, I wouldn't blame a full disengagement. You're taking some concessions in terms of abilities and weaponry. I mean, Tenedy, you're Guardian. That's really it. You don't have all that much utility left over other than your Annihilation, which is nice, but not the end-all, be-all.
Here.
In all fairness, your utility has been fairly well placed. It's forced BCU all the way over to B, and there's 4 players gathered in market.
I want to put some attention on the fact that Milk has the Neural Theft for Cypher. It's the ultimate that makes sure that you know where all of your enemies are at a given moment. They're all going to push off RP here. Sky Smokes will come down early enough that it'll prevent them from doing much more, but if they can get 1 kill and Milk can use the Neural Theft, they get a lot of information that they can use to actually
30
get the correct
seconds
Cypher.
left.
There's only 30 seconds left in the round.
They're sending it over towards A. The problem is there's still a lot of deadlock utility sitting around. Benefit is that trap has dissipated. There's a timer on that one, but great couple of shots. Number 2.
One enemy
goes
remaining.
Shooting with a
Spike
bullet
down
fired
A.
from heaven. Number 2 finds 3.
Milk is so
10
out of
seconds
it.
Cypher has
left.
B site control. Bad news, the spike is a 1.5 miles away. This round's over. It's just a matter of how much negligible damage the Cypher can do in the tail end of it, or if they live through the tail end of this round. I don't think they're going to. They'll go running for the hills and will survive, but it's not gonna matter. Outstanding round from number 2 alone. And you know, it kind of helps when you go for a one-man wrecking crew in a game like that.
I mean, number 2, he's number 2 in game name, but he's number 1 probably on the scoreboard right now, assuming I could see the scoreboard. So he's having a really good game. We've seen him get a lot of those multi-kills from that same exact location over in Lamps. Poke in and out, head it directly in and out, and make sure to get at least 1 or 2 there. He was doing really good work there with the Judge, just did really good work with the Phantom there. Just a lot of good work from number 2 in Lamps. And I think it's preventing BCU from doing a lot more on this A site because they know that this is clear for them on every round.
So, I believe we've gotten an update on the score. Now, this could be incorrect. Oh, here are the stats right now. We just got a screenshot from being able to tab out. Active stats right now. It's 4-4. Game is drawn. Insanity's 6-4-0. Tenedy is 9-4-1. Arfy 5-4-1. Number 2 is 9-6-1. Well done, number 2. You were right there at the top of the scoreboard, roundabout. Shu is 2-6-2. And then on the other side for BCU, Rika is 5-6-1. Mick is 6-4-0. Jun is 1-7-2. Hariri 3-7-0 and 6-6-5 for Freight. Nice couple of assists from you this year.
The game's back.
It is 4-4. By the
It's all
way,
tied up.
PSA, it's 4-4.
So I think we came in at round 2.
That sounds about right. Maybe right. I don't know.
Somewhere before this round. So with 1 minute and 10 seconds left and still a lot of utility on both sides, either team can really kind of go into either place. This
Smoke's down.
See what they want to actually do. We don't see the Rays playing in this Lamps position. Number 2 playing in the same position that he has been the last couple of rounds.
We have seen a nice healthy few swaps. The problem is BCU just has not gone B. So arguably Radford could stick A for the entirety of the game, and it would probably work. Or in this case, the last 2 rounds of the half. You never know.
Yeah, I do also, like, we look at this here, and
Molly.
it does seem that not only are they not poking A, but they're not really putting
30
any
seconds
presence.
left.
Not poking B, but
Spike
putting
down
presence
A.
towards B either. Insanity grabbing the 2K. Seems that
I
it
have
doesn't
the
matter
spike.
who they put in that spot on
Chill
Lamps,
out.
they will
They
get
are
a couple
going B.
kills. It's going to be late. Milk sees one.
Cage trigger.
No.
11 HP for Haru.
I know
Cypher already
exactly
exposing themselves.
where
It doesn't matter.
10
Two
seconds
goes
left.
down. Make it a 3 versus 2, but the Raze has already taken the teleport. Our Brimstone's behind them. It's a pincher or be pincer kind of game at this point. Late Molotov should not extend all the way to the Raze, who's going for the high ground, but has been
One
seen as
enemy
the
remaining.
should go down here and does. 1v3, but 2 make it 1 for HP player.
One enemy
Missed
remaining.
shots. Arfie makes it a 1v1 and knows for a fact that Brimstone
buddy's
is up and
defusing.
heavy. Wingman will make it a pseudo 2v1, but how good is the timing for Wingman? They have to go rushing for
up
this,
and
but
over.
They don't know where the spike is planted. It doesn't matter. They find the timing because Wingman cannot defuse while the Gecko's dead, especially when the half ends in the way it does, and magically BCU are able to close it out.
They're able to close out, but it's close. A lot of these rounds are getting very close very quickly, and it means that neither team can really get an economy. So from our little snapshot a moment ago, the economy was not in a great place for either team. DCU was basically full bot at that point.
Yeah.
RU had a little bit of money in the bank, but not a huge amount. And every time we have one of these close rounds, it comes down to a 1-on-1. It comes down to a 2-on-1. Or in the case of a couple rounds ago, it comes down to the 5-on-1 that they get a lot of kills in. Every buy becomes consistently worse. You gotta get some rounds together.
Finally, that pressure towards B ends up working for them. If the Gecko just played hide and go seek for another 2 seconds, they would have won the round. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. They do not. Shu now basically in a 1v3, nearly a 1v5 over towards this B side, but they've got some help gathering behind them, just not actively getting involved in the fight. This could
Monster on
become
the
a problem for Radford later. There's this thing, great guiding light. Everybody gets found by
Last
nearly
player
every piece of
standing.
utility thrown, yet they all win their gunfights. That's not supposed to happen.
So
Radford did everything right.
I actually think that guiding light was a little short. I think it hit into the edge of the wall. I don't think it blinded everyone as much as it really seemed like it. Which meant that you had 2 Radford players just kind of swinging into 4 people looking at you.
And when they're all just crouched and strewn about on the B-long position, it's one person swinging into 3 or 4 and trying to shoot them all at about the same time. And now timeout called the other direction. Radford needs to take some time and reevaluate where they're at. Because, I mean, the last couple rounds just haven't gone their way. What's that, been 4 straight, if I've done my mental math correctly, for BCU?
Yeah, it's not only is it a lot of rounds straight, but it's a lot of economy issues, right? I mean, we have our new little update here that says
Wait,
that
it still looks 4-4.
Well, I don't know about the score, but I'm looking at the money here, and we can see that Rika has almost 7,000 in the bank right now, able to spend and drop to teammates. Milk doesn't have a huge amount, but probably just bought. The thinking here, right, is that there is a lot going on here, and there's not a lot of money right now on the Radford side. They need to try and see if they can get one more round before the end of the half, just to see if they can kind of even this up and make this a little less lopsided, because Briar has had the second half of this half kind of on lock.
Gun here.
If Briar doesn't get shut down tail end of this, their composition is outstanding for their defense too. That's really what makes this concerning going into the second half. And given the way they've played, I feel like Abyss could very easily go their way with how Abyss is strewn. I would not be surprised if Radford makes wholesale changes tail end of this half, beginning of the next, or going into map 2 if it really gets that drastic. I mean, this is a first real time we've seen Radford change their ability to buy weapons. I don't think we've seen them fully eco since we came on.
No, we haven't. It's been a lot of gun rounds, and I think once in a while it's been like a half buy, but we haven't seen them going on a full eco.
There's a time for firsts. This seems to be one of them. I mean, we saw a Ghost. This is that Ghost for Arfie. Everybody else is just gathered around B. Arfie's alone and has been caught by Dizzy. Worst case scenario has nearly hit. And they've guessed wrong for really the first time this game, and it's going to cost them a spike plant, more than likely the round, given their record.
Spike
I mean,
planted.
we've seen Radford every single round that they play.
Beacon
Have
here.
kind of guessed the right side, or at least been smart enough to make sure that they're going to the right place. But this round, not so much. The Stinger's going to kind of be the last hope that they've got here.
Else ready.
1 kill through. Onto Rika. They push any more through.
Last player standing.
I don't know if Tennedy wants to throw the ult out here, but they could have. But it will be a BCU round.
BCU just does
Last
not
round
seem to be
in the
losing
half.
any turn. Final round of the half, if we've done our mental math correctly, it's 7-4 BCU. Again, apologies for the technical issues. The abridged version of what happened if you're just joining us. Our observers are not the leads of the lobby, and whoever is decided it was a great idea to click the 2 check boxes next to our observer names. So neither of them can use any part of their HUD, including the
massive.
scoreboard. Hey, there it is. We've got an
Scores.
overlay. This is what
We've got
matters.
Scores.
It's 7-4.
It's
Thank you for
perfect.
sticking with us through this, by the way. We will get it fixed by the time that this rolls around. But it will have to stay this way throughout the entire time.
Scout destroyed.
Starting Orbital Strike, pushing forward straight. Splitting the team up a little bit. Maybe Hariri pushing back towards the A side. And it looks like the entirety of BCU is just getting ready
I've
to kind
got
of
your
hit this A side.
trail.
Here this A side is number 2. He's been the best player for Radford this entire time. But Milk's got one on the B site, trying to juke him out a bit more. And man will come through.
Wingman actually gets... No, it wasn't Wingman. It was Freight. I thought it was Wingman who was going to get blown up by the paint shells. Turns out they miss the very easily identifiable and only sitting at 100 HP tactical inanimate object. It's kind of place and forget decent utility. Roomba will clear out land and identify that Jones is here. But how easy is it to clear them out of the actual position? First kill, now making a second. No way to use that second blast pack to put him out of position. And that should be the half. Basically a 2v2.
One enemy remaining.
Out
Last
by
player
the
standing.
annihilation, but no, making a 1v1. And a decent decision for Hariri to throw out the Roomba, but they're going jumping, and they have the time favoring them. Playing hide and go seek, it's gonna work for them. Face on with the blast. It works for him, so does the round. BCU make it even.
The second you hear that last click on the Vandal, you know that you just got to turn around and peek it. You hope to hell that your aim is going to be better than someone with a classic. And turns out it was. Hariri just making sure that they had time on their side there. So 8-4 for Briar Cliff going into the second half here.
Our overlay is swapped. It does not need to. Briarcliff is still on the right. So that should swap back in a second. Because Briarcliff is blue, and blue is defense. And blue's
Yes.
still right. Yeah.
But it is 8
They
for
don't have
Briarcliff.
Yes.
I will note
Briarcliff
that.
does have 8, and they
Briarcliff
are
does have
on
8.
the defensive side. So that blue color on your map will sustain.
Yeah,
It'll
which
be changed in just a second.
for what it's worth, we said ahead of time here that we think that the Briarcliff comp is a better defensive comp.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of work on their attack side to make sure it was good. And Milk is
Spike
doing a lot of
down
work on this
B.
pistol round to make sure that their defense starts off well.
You got 2 players sitting in the back corner of the B elbow. There just really isn't anything being shown by Briarcliff here. I love this call. No reason to face check it. You've already kind of tried that, and you've won a fight elsewhere. This should not be a decision where they're going to face check every single part of this map. And if you hold for this couple of kills, the only thing that could really make you lose this round is if Radford runs in and wins these fights without losing a player. And at that point, it becomes a 3v3, and you're okay.
Camera taken out.
Sideswitch will start through. Guiding Light does come through for the Siege as well. And there's this really annoying
30
barrier
seconds
mesh that we
left.
talked about, but Milk is able to kind of flip through. Does take out the planter.
Spike
in
down
Kennedy.
B.
Quick trade around will not stop this spike from going down, though. Oh, wait.
Barrier
Yes,
mesh
it will.
was thrown too
No, they're
far.
running.
It will,
They're-
but they're going back to A.
I kind of love this. It's really a really good move to me. Is that he's going to get
Last
one.
player
We'll be able to get
standing.
another, but it
10
doesn't matter.
seconds
She
left.
was on the other site.
Spike
On
planted.
his lonesome now.
So 5 seconds between the plant going down and them getting to the teleporter. At least another 8 or 9 between them and getting to the site. But now they have to figure out where Shu is gone. He's gone off towards the backside of site, but has given away his
Hulk
position.
out.
Guiding Light's available.
Blinded.
They'll go around the far corner, but you have to avoid Dizzy at the same time. And they will. 2v1,
One
you have
enemy
to play
remaining.
both fights at the same time. 5 bullets left in the Ghost. They need a headshot. Body shots will not do the trick, especially with only 46 HP. But enough of a face check onto the spike. Again, seeing it is not actively being held. And this game of Ring Around the Rosie, at least for now, is favoring Shu. 3 bullets. Headshot still very much required, and they cannot
But it
find
doesn't
it,
matter.
but they don't need it. Judd has not hopped on the spike quickly enough, and it's cost them the round in that same breath. Briar escape, but not with the round intact. It will be Radford on the attack to pick it up.
It's close. These rounds keep feeling close and close. Like every round feels like it's just a little bit closer than the last one. And just to remind you, this BCU run started with them losing a 1v5, or sorry, them winning a 1v5,
There.
but just barely. Them being the 5.
Yeah.
And they've kind of made a little run about after this.
I would not be surprised if from now on, Radford are just trying to play as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
Briarcliff seemingly had some miscommunications on their defensive side, not realizing immediately that the teleporter was taken when the spike was gone, not picking up on the 2v1 that they both need to swing at the same time from either direction because they just didn't really find the timing on it. And that communication's a lot more difficult to find on the defensive side. That's why we saw Radford get caught out. There's that outlaw I was talking about. First time we've seen that this game, and it's already effective. One shot, one kill.
I mean, when you've got no armor, it's going to be a very important and good weapon for everyone to use. Tennedy will be the player over on Radford with that weapon. Looks like Briarcliff does want to get a little frisky here towards Showers. Wants to push a little. They are going to pull back now. As they hear the rest of Radford taking on A site. Man, we'll put the spike down. Number 2 is just trying to get a couple shots through.
Somebody out.
Wingman's going to go and try and clear the back of the site. No spike down yet, though.
No, Wingman was taken
30
out by the
seconds
facials.
left.
This time they landed. Now comes the time. Another smoke goes down, and as it does, Hariri was seen through the, at that point, dissipated smoke and is killed after. Good cover from Sanity here. At least gets 1 kill before going down. You're happy with that trade. Spectre has been retrieved, but Freight's position is duly noted. And you still have to
Look at
worry
that.
It doesn't matter.
Last player
As they
standing.
do, it goes 1 for 1. But now with just the Sheriff in hand, there's not a snowball's chance to land down under that this one's going to survive, and it will not. Radford make it 6. This is a fairly comfortable start to a second half for them.
Yeah, it feels like that everything that we kind of said was going to happen hasn't happened yet. We said, hey, look, you know, Briarcliff's got this really good Cypher player. They're going to play really well on this defense. We also had talked about how Deadlock is really good on attack, and it feels like maybe we have undervalued that a little, because otherwise these comps are exactly the same. And number 2 has been really good this entire game. He was really good that round. Even when he's not getting every single kill in the book, he's doing a lot of damage across the board, as you saw last round. Number 2 is kind of making it happen right now for Rad. Okay, Hariri.
Spike down
But
B.
with a Guardian, no less. Turns out they don't need better weaponry to be able to stick this one through. You go 3 for 1, if I've read that correctly. Yeah, Hariri dies, but who cares? It seems like it's working fairly well for them and playing that early aggression for BCU on the other side. Radford finally shut down, more of a heat check than anything. They have gained all of Hookah, and maybe the entire site as well. Do they just forget there's another entrance? Maybe?
I mean, you see the pings on the map from the get-go. And hey, just be aware that they could come through here. They're not that far in yet. You'll see the pings from Tennedy as well, knowing that they need to clear elbow here. That there could be someone in garden. And now you'll know that someone in garden. Freight is the first one to find it, but
Spike
shoot open the
down.
trade quick back.
Oh no.
That's it.
Sana.
7-8.
I don't think the barrel was seen by the second player, or even by the first. You only see Freight on the far side who goes 1 for 1. And you're just not aware there's a second extra sitting in the back corner, or technically far corner, not back corner.
Yeah.
At that point of the garden. That's unfortunate.
I'd also like to note here that this is the Briarcliff map pick.
There.
They picked this. We're going to Radford's map pick in Abyss after this one. But it will be Briarcliff's map pick, and they'll be put in a sticky situation if they cannot close this out here.
At this point, Briarcliff seems happy to close it as quickly as they can, but with Radford winning another early fight, forcing out a mid-control, which has been a rarity today, and just, in general, winning the duels they need, there's no way for the Rays to regain that health because their Sky is already dead. And I would not be surprised if Radford is thinking, wait, we've gotten so many advantages already. Kill plus maybe 100 HP worth of damage. Let's just go.
It just looks like everyone's kind of jumbled themselves outside of A main. That Sky Smoke will go down. Dog goes out as well, trying to clear as much space as they can. There are 2 members on the site, 1 member in heaven. Everyone in the game is on the A site right now, though.
Except for a Cypher, who's for some reason walking through market.
Yeah,
but
I
they may
didn't
not
even
get
notice
there
the
quickly
Cypher.
enough. They were so far removed, it didn't seem like they were an impactful part. Now they may be. As a Cypher walks in, how quickly can this be completely contained, seemingly easily, for Shu? Their persistence and existence alone is really all you need at that point, but they're just
Cage
not
triggered.
going to be good enough on that initial fight on either side, whether it was Heaven or over there back towards the far side of A mid, to even have a chance of picking this round up. This will be 7 for Radford. I do think BCU won a round, so it's 7-9 after this one ends.
Last player standing.
I'll believe you on that. I actually think Radford went around as well, so I thought it was 8-8, but it could be 7-9. One of the two. It's a close game. That's what you really need to know.
All right, homies, chill. We'll go again.
I go 7-9.
Damn, you
I'm
love
fairly
being here.
confident on that because
Like,
we're
BCU
confident
won
on that.
with a heavy lack of weaponry because it was that bonus round, and now Radford won. Yeah, 7-9.
We're getting towards the
delay.
Act 3 of this game. The final arc.
Actually, we're 2 rounds away from the final quarter for football.
Final
teams, if
quarter.
you will. By the way, Thursday Night Football score 7-3 Cowboys. If anybody's curious, they just started the second quarter of that game.
Thank you for the score update.
Yeah, I got you.
Speaking of a score update, the entirety of BCU is looking to score an update on the market area, and they will on this push through. Do they?
There's no one
expect
here.
anything? Does Radford expect anything? They do. First Vandal kill
Spike
goes
down
for
A.
trade. Another kill from June.
They're gonna turn around. They found him. Wait, no! Kennedy just got found because of the neural theft. They were
Pull them
fully
to their
banking on the fact
grave.
that, oh, nobody's gonna know.
Reeling them
Annihilation's
in.
absolutely gonna catch them.
One enemy remaining.
They will, but
Oh,
they
it doesn't
come up their own
matter.
life
Strongest
for it.
was not
Kennedy,
enough.
the bait and switch with the Annihilation gives them 3 kills, and while everybody's distracted with the ultimate on one side, 2 players just walk in from the other. Free
Barrier
round
mesh.
for Radford.
Barrier Mesh is the most overpowered basic ability in this game. I stand by it. Stand by it. It's way too much work. 8-9. Briarcliff's still up. It's not that far behind right now for Radford University.
Briarford and Radcliffe.
Briarford, yeah. Briarcliff does not have any cash going into this round. I will note that the only person that has any amount of money is Milk with just under 4K, but I do not expect anyone to actually invest in this round here to any real degree. And on the other side, Radford just has tons of money. 2 players over 6K, a player very close to 6K. They've got the funds to kind of keep this going. If they just win a round here and there, even if Briarcliff kind of pushes off a couple of rounds in a row. But you'll see Radford kind of trying to slap their wallet on the table here and see if they can do anything more with that and just kind of make it a money diff. Money diff.
I mean, sometimes it's the ability to buy things will give you the ability to buy more things down the line. It's like the real world at that point.
Are we is Briarcliff investing their money to see interest
So
in 2 rounds?
to let you into the background of some of these players, if I read this correctly, there are a few players who are we've got finance for Insanity, marketing for number 2, and business for Arfi. And business marketing for AYOT, but they are not in this game. So, I mean, 3/5 of the team is in a business or business adjacent major.
So you're telling me that these people know how to manage their money. So if we ever see them on a full eco, they've done something wrong.
That or they are actively doing something right, and I'm not a business major, I have a business minor, so I'm not one to tell them they're wrong.
Well, they are currently losing the game, so by definition, they're doing something wrong. We'll see if they
That's
can turn
so
that
true.
around. See if they can turn that around. This is a cam for Milk.
Got you.
You
Camera
spotted?
taken out.
Well,
Cage
shots through.
triggered.
I've got your trail.
Cam has
That
been
one-
given up, by the way. vision from it.
Fire in the
No
hole!
playing whack-a-mole with pieces of ability. Showstopper actually doesn't do anything because you're caught by the trip block. But one for one trade, you're happy with that. Walk through the smoke, another
Spike
one for one
planted.
trade. It comes a 3v3. Spike will be planted though, and Rika is forced away from the backside of hell because of the Molotov and Radford's in a perfect position.
Yeah, it feels like just Radford have a lot of space that ECU needs to take. You see the Gecko ult go out there. But it's not doing a huge amount.
Out
It's not
of
making that
charges.
much space. Briar
There.
does start to get some of the space, but this spike is planted so out in the open for Hookah. Riri is able to get one, second goes straight back.
Last
Orbital
player
strike
standing.
comes through. Showstopper won't hit anyone.
One enemy
Now we're
remaining.
cooking.
Showstopper went off because of the orbital strike. They were gonna die anyway. Rika has absolutely no time.
Hold
to
on
die.
to your hats.
Okay.
They've gotten the kill. Wait a second, it was already gotten
They
to
have
half. Do they have the
Ready.
time? Yes, by 6/10
Who's
of
the
a
old
second.
dog now?
Somehow, Briar picks up 10, and double digits is retrieved first on the defensive side.
Neither of us really thought they were going to win that round. It kind of just felt like
Window
they
got half.
Yeah, at some point they did get half, and I'm kind of unsure how they got half,
man.
where there were two players in Hookah, both kind of spamming through there.
I think it was
There's
the
a little,
wingman that got it to half. That may have been
Oh,
the
it
determining
could have been
factor, because
wingman.
orbital strike, I think, shut down the wingman itself.
That could have been it.
Yep. Little chaotic.
Welcome to Valorant.
This game, yeah, I know, right? With or without the technical issues, this game's chaotic. We could see the timer at the top of the screen on how they're diffusing. It's actually one of the few things we could have seen, and still, it's not something you're immediately looking for, at least not internally. But 10 for BCU, 3 away from winning it. Radford still needs 2 just to tie. And more importantly, they've kind of been shut down. I mean, you pick up,
Go get
of
it.
the first 4 rounds, 3 of them they're supposed to win. Attacking pistol, attacking conversion, they lose the bonus, which you're supposed to do, and they only win the first full gun round. After that, I mean, they've gone 1 for 2 in terms of rounds the opposite direction. I don't know. It's a real 50-50 shot, in this case, literally.
Radford's kind of freaking me out a little bit with how little space they have right now. We're hitting 40 seconds left in the round, and it doesn't seem like they've actually taken any forward space. Actually, I'm certain they haven't taken any forward space. This right here in A main is the beginning of their forward space taking, and there's only 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
That's all you need. Problem is, they've already lost showers. They just picked up 1. Judge perfect
Hariri.
timing. And no, Dizzy catches number 2 at the worst possible time. 10 to be forced out in the open. Bait and switch with utility and a judge. The jury and the executioner were soon very much to follow. Spike will be planted here. Nothing that can be done about
Spike
it.
planted.
And hiding light certainly didn't help their case. But this is a 4 versus 2. And
One
both
enemy
players
remaining.
are a wall away from one another, and neither can pick up a kill. Jun, Freight, and Hariri all swung at nearly the exact same time. That, my friends, is how you play a player advantage. BCU pick up 11. The defense is starting to shape up very well for them.
I mean, you can see Hariri, he kind of did his best number 2 impression right there in
Charges?
market,
Check.
in labs.
Brakes?
And, I mean,
Nowhere in sight.
he kind of just got 2 kills with a judge in a place that you really shouldn't be getting 2 kills with a judge.
Yeah.
Right? Either of those players should have had a better advantage on trying to do something there, and neither of them really did. So we'll see how that kind of pushes forward here. BCU is absolutely on the benefit here on the winning side as of right now. They're just trying to get 2 more rounds here and make sure that they can kind of push everything through. See if they can secure their own map pick here.
They can. They're headed onto Abyss in a fairly decent position. Problem is, if you're internally thinking to yourself, wait, have they practiced Abyss? I think that's a question for most of these teams. If you're seeing new players or sometimes new/returning players across different teams, a lot of the times at this level, especially week 1, maybe even week 2, that practice just hasn't had time to shape up. A lot of teams just finished their tryouts 2 weeks ago. Some teams just started school 2 or 3 weeks ago. Again, depends on the university. Some have different academic calendars. There are some schools that do quarters and have been in session since the middle of July because that's a thing. And
I know
others
we've gotten
who
deep into this
didn't start
broadcast
till
when we're
3 weeks
talking about academic school years.
It's something I have to cognizantly think about. Fun fact, in the state of Illinois at least, Election Day is a
Let's flush
holiday
them
and
out.
I don't have classes.
It's a dub. I
Great,
do
'cause
have
early
I
classes
do
on
have work.
Tuesdays.
I do have work on that day.
I
Okay. Well, you know what else doesn't happen? Number having any sort of vision towards B long here. Cypher just go out early. And second one followed up from Milk. Trying to just kind of force them to
Oh yeah!
not
Monster on the
scale as
loose!
quick as they
Careful now.
expected to. Milk will take a
Why
couple pot shots,
destroyed?
but will have to retreat quickly.
Grenade! Satchel out. Satchel out.
So clearing at the back of B. No one's here. Problem is, BCU, this is actually favoring them. Yes, I know the spike is being planted. Yes, I know they're down 3 rounds, but they haven't given up a single bit of abilities nor information while still being directly on the backside of the site. Just now, they're starting to use abilities, including, more importantly, the secret to clear out the site itself. All this information being given over. Yes, a smoke will inhibit them for just a few seconds.
Here.
Look at the forward position
You want
on
more?
the backside of Gardens. Freight take
Nice
it.
kill.
Say goodbye to RB.
Buried.
Looking for a second. Freight will find it, and the onslaught of B is working perfectly.
One enemy
They're
remaining.
looking for another up inside of Hookah. It's Milk to find them both. The second of those, by the way, was through the wall, and BCU played it perfectly. There's not a thing they could have done better, other than maybe stick
Why
the
did I sign
spike.
up for this
Somebody press 4.
They had enough time.
Finally,
Don't
Freight
even
does so.
start that
We're fine.
shit
They-
with me,
Getting
mate.
close, all right? 2
Milk-
seconds is not a lot of time.
So with that 3K, Milk got all of his ult points. They just wanted to make
Match
sure the ult
point.
point went over to Freight
Okay,
where it wasn't useless. Because Milk was 3 off at the start of that round. He got 3 kills, means he's on ult. Which just means going into this last round here for Briar, there is a neural theft. So if Milk can kind of stay alive here, huge help to this later in the round, especially since Radford has been kind of hitting sights a little late.
I mean, BCU was doing something similar at the tail end of the first half. It started working for them, taking
Yeah.
advantage of the fact that, I mean, Radford was in a similar boat of, oh wait, there's not a lot of time. There's also a situation, no one is aiming
Grenade!
whatsoever.
Satchel out.
Everybody's
Satchel out.
playing hide, go seek, and showers. And
Oh, number
numbers
two.
2 should only find one person here, if they find anybody at all. They think the site's clear. Now they have no idea. Guiding Light
Spike
needs to find a
planted.
sound cue that
Nice.
someone's here. Hariri goes down with the operator, but a 1-for-1 trade is okay for the time being.
I mean, they're just going to play 4v4 retake here. Freight and Rika, both know what they made.
No way.
Blinded.
Wall. That could have been a kill, but Shu is able to take Freight down. Just the 2 left coming from the defender spawn. Milk's going kind of loud here. He doesn't spawn anyone.
Cage
Cypher
triggered.
Cage out. That's half the spike. Gonna hold the spike.
Last player standing.
No, could have stuck it through. No, they would have had the sound cue of the wingman dying. It would have been a predictable kill, but it's not going to matter. Milk's now got a 1v3 this with just no time.
This is no
and
problem.
Cyber cages left. We've already gotten into half. It's not going to matter. Everybody on RU thought to themselves, hey, 1, 2, 3 swing, and they did, and they won. 9-12. Radford at least bring back another round.
It's a kill onto
Right.
Shu at the end of the round. It doesn't seem like the most impactful thing until you realize that Radford doesn't have a huge amount of money either. Right, this has been a very Briarcliff favored half, and Radford just need every dollar they can get. Losing Shu's weapon is a little difficult there.
BCU now starting to be forced into problem-solving mode. Even with good retake ability in that one, they had some problems they could have solved before they became massive problems. Annihilation's available. Showstopper is as well. It's being used, but nobody's there. Kennedy walks away at the worst possible time, but finds 3 kills? No way you're supposed to be able to
Throwing
bowl them over like they're pins sitting down the lane.
One enemy
Three
remaining.
go down, make it 4.
4.
Kennedy loading for the ace, but I don't think there's
Flawless.
gonna be the opportunity. Number 2 will steal it away. But it's not gonna matter. Radford find 10 rounds. They're within striking distance of overtime.
I was watching Tenedy there, and I could have sworn I was just going to go, nah, Tenedy's not going to get anything here. The crosshair just didn't seem in the right place. Gecko seemed to just be peeking at the right time when Tenedy's has the one of those nades out. And then Tenedy gets 3. I have questions.
You're not supposed to find 3 there, all right?
Actually, I have
is
one question.
reasonable.
How did Tenedy get 3?
Yeah, when 3 people are shooting at you as well. If they're all looking the other direction, maybe distracted with something else, sure, understandable. 3 kills is not abnormal. But when they all swing you,
Grenade!
and all 3 of them are actively looking at you and shooting at you at the same time, and you not only find all 3 of them, live long enough to find a fourth, but still find the fourth with 20 HP. All of those are questions that absolutely should have answers that shouldn't happen.
Where is
Anyway,
everyone
Hariri kills number
hiding?
2. Opening kills there for BCU. Problem is they have given up the entirety of the A site and now need to walk in that general direction. Benefit is, not only has the spike just now swapped, but they've now completely segregated Shu over towards A spawn. This is much better for BCU the previous couple rounds.
I mean, Shu can try and do a lot of work here on getting through. He does not have a huge amount of health. If he doesn't get
My
hit by
territory!
it
My group! I have them now!
Orbital Strike does come down now on top of the spike. Hariri's still looking for a lot, but didn't see Shu there.
Wait, they didn't see Shu. Oh no.
Shu.
They couldn't save you!
Kill for Tenity.
Last player standing.
Nade left out. Freight and Milk each get a pair. Insanity, the last one alive. Stave Bomb, he's got 2.
What? I
Won't
think
matter.
they should have time now.
They have plenty
That's
of
it.
time. But
13-10.
those 2 kills,
Ah, shame. I love
it looked a little
Defenders
questionable in
win.
there.
Yeah.
Look at this wreckage!
It got
I'm so
really hairy
proud.
at the tail end of that one. More importantly, BCU just didn't seem to have the direct idea of where everybody was hiding. You still had another player, A mid, that somehow was found out. I have no idea how that information was gained. You have
Yeah.
2 players clearing vents as the annihilation goes through. It ends up working for them, and you just don't clear heaven, but you still win the fights. I don't know.
Yeah, if you, I don't know how Shu wasn't spotted, but I don't also know that it matters how Shu wasn't
Yeah.
spotted because that's just kind of where we're sitting at this point. BCU will win the first map 13-10. We're going to Abyss next, which is the pick of Radford. Anything else you want to touch on here at the end of this map?
So one thing I didn't get to touch on a lot was stats, but we have just been given our scoreboard out of game 1. Insanity led, at least in terms of ACS, at 270. Tenity was right behind them, but they are 2 players that lost, unfortunately. 21 and 15, 23 and 15 for the combination of the 2. Freight and Milk right behind them, 20 and 17, 22 and 15. Across the board, it was fairly even. Everybody had someone else they fairly evenly matched up with on either side. No individual standouts. I'd like to see a little bit more from Shu and Jun going into game 2, because as initiators, yeah, their immediate job isn't to, hey, go kill, but they need to do better than just 8 or 9 kills between them. I'd like to see them step up on a map where initiators flourish, like Abyss. We'll see if that happens then.
Yeah, I have the same kind of idea here with the 2 initiators, the 2 duelists in number 2 and Hariri. I know they had a lot of really nice flashy plays that we saw, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've got an entire MEC season of Hariri to look back on and tell you that he was a top 3 duelist last season, and this doesn't look like top 3 duelist energy to me. And I'm kind of hoping that maybe it was because it was a Raze and it wasn't the Jet, which we've seen him play a million times. But we'll see how Hariri kind of pushes forward into the next set here. We are going to have a quick break, I think. That's what we've been told. There will be some sort of game.
Yeah, there's interactability for the chat. So
Woo!
usually between breaks, we get to go sit around and you also get to sit around, but instead stick around. A nice little fun bit of details for you. So guess the map. I think I know what the next one is, but I won't spoil it. Go ahead.
Welcome back, everyone. After our quick guess the map break, I hope you guessed many of the maps. I know that we guessed all of them correctly because we said
missed
them in
one.
our little. Yeah, we missed the first one, but we guessed the rest of them correctly. Even though I had to say that map underwater, and someone had, and Light had to help me out with remembering which map is underwater. But let's talk about another map that has nothing to do with water. Abyss. There's big pits. You fall off the map.
In spectacular ways
Yep.
sometimes. I love to see the new ways that players find ways to fall off the map.
You
Some
you
do
can
it
really
while trying to trick shot. Others do it unintentionally, and it's especially more funny.
yeah. I just want to touch on one more thing from the last map before we move on. I was prepping earlier today in like a voice chat with some of my coworkers, and they were asking like, "Hey, what are you prepping? Like, what agents are you prepping for?" And I said, "I'm prepping everyone but Vise and Deadlock because no one's gonna play Deadlock." And I just got a nice little DM from a friend that just goes in the SpongeBob meme format font. Nobody plays. No one's going to play
Nobody
Deadlock.
plays Deadlock.
So, all right, I may have been a little wrong on that one, but Abyss.
Yep.
It's a map.
Abyss is something I was thinking to myself, this is Collegiate. We're probably not going to see it. But then I was thinking, I mean, a lot of Collegiate leagues have started up this week. And if teams have prepped it, if you've even spent more than 10 minutes looking at the map, you're probably ahead of other teams. They're thinking, oh, yeah, this is week 1. It's syllabus week. We're all going to play like Haven, Bind, Ascent in that order. It'll be a great and easy week for teams that don't do prep work. Wrong.
Yeah, what
Abyss is map 2 of the season.
What if all the teams spent 10 minutes on prep work for Abyss?
Well, then the teams that spent 20 minutes.
They were all equal.
At the odds that multiple teams in week 1 spent more than like we'll say an hour. I'm gonna say an hour looking at Abyss. I'd be surprised. We'll see if that is the case as we head into Abyss. A couple stats on agents before they start selecting them, as they already have. Sova, Cypher, Jet, Omen, and Astra are the 5 most common agents in no particular compositional order. The most common individual composition is Omen, Cypher, Sova, Jet, and KO. Interestingly enough, KO is number 6 in totality.
Ooh, KO. We do see full lock here from Radford. I'm liking the Astra pick. Astra got buffed. I think Astra's really good right now. And just generically, I like Astra. So big fan of this pick right here.
Yeah. I like the decision to go Astra. I think we're going to see it fairly often on Abyss, especially considering it's Abyss, but also because Astra's gotten a little bit of help recently. Her general abilities really assist in that general direction, we'll say. KO is a good selection here. I think Breach is also a viability, but probably will not be selected as often. Gecko's also kind of on the outskirts of the most common agent selected. Yoru's in that general area as well. About 17% of games has a Gecko. But here, I think Gecko, without any other information-based initiator, is a concern to me. I mean, Sova, sure, but no Fade, no Sky like the previous game, which was
No
a heavy
KO.
breaking point. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
KO is my big miss here for both teams. Actually, I think KO is really good on this map. And kind of give you a lot of space, and interested to see that we're running a little KO list here. And we'll see mirrored matchups over here on everyone on for both teams in the Cypher, the Sova, the Jet, and the Astra. The only difference here is the Gecko versus the Breach. You see how much difference it will actually make throughout this. As you can see, we have scores now.
W scores.
It's 0-0.
I just really wanted to say W scores. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice that we have them. This is the only round that we've seen actively played thus far where we didn't need the score.
Including the first round, because we didn't see the first round.
That's true, yeah. We saw the fact that it was pistol, and then we're like, oh, wait, let's go try and fix that. And we didn't end up fixing it. It was kind of funny. Anyway, Abyss is underway. Thank you very much for sticking with us through the problems that were back on Bind. Again, was not our fault. All right? Blame whoever hosted it. I don't want to throw anybody individually under the bus, mainly because I wasn't given a player name.
Yep. See the Ghost trying to do a little bit of work here with Hariri. So Hariri now is playing the Jet, which is an agent I think he's a little bit more comfortable on. We saw a lot of it last season. I know I've said it about a million times tonight, but there's been a lot of Hariri Jet clips. They're really good. Freight's going to go over the top, get 2 with Shu and Arpy. Shots through the Cypher cage. Won't do a huge amount of damage. Okay, we're just jumping in now.
I mean, they tried to go off Dizzy, but I think Dizzy was shut out. They were relying on Dizzy finding at least one person, and Dizzy found really nothing out of that. You clear out the bottom side of heaven most of the time with that, but you don't find the timing, thus you don't find the kills. BCU pick up where they left off back on Vine. Pistol round victory. Good to start for them.
I thought Hariri just jumped off the map there. I
Would have
wasn't
been
thinking too
equally
hard
as
there.
funny.
I wasn't thinking too hard there. And I know you can't jump off the map before the round starts, but excellent. No notes.
Excellent numbers.
It looks like they're just going to push B. There's no one here. Like
Wow,
a
the
very
worst
dead
timing
site.
ever.
We have to be careful about behind. We do see both number 2, Radford Sova going through. Number 2 is going to grab Rika to start. Let's give up at least one player's location. But this B site's free and open.
And the problem is, Radford's originally thinking to themselves, wait, we haven't used anything to hold the site. We're in a pretty good spot. Bad news, they have no weapons. Other than maybe what they've picked up from the previously fallen player, but I don't think they went searching for a gun. Freight's got a pretty decent spot to find one, almost a second, but Shu goes dodging, dipping, and
One
diving
enemy
away.
remaining.
But 1 versus 2 RP needs to do
No
so
more
from a
to
distance
oppose
and will
us.
not be able. Low HP for the Cypher. Got a little concerning for BCU considering their
Watch them run
massive
when
weapon
lit by my sonar.
advantage,
That's when
and
we
yet
strike.
They still win the round with only 2 players left.
You know, at the end of the day, that was a really good round for Radford. Even though it didn't really look like it, they got 3 kills. That's a lot of money gone for this team. That means it's a little harder to play.
So notably, second round is or third round is usually what's called a bonus.
Yep.
General terms, you take the guns that you kept over from round 2, which are objectively not amazing, and try and play round 3 with them against a full buy from the team that had lost said conversion round into the bonus. But here, it's not really a bonus round. Because they lost 3 players, they all had to re-buy into this. This is more of a gun round than next round will be, assuming either team wins it, which, I mean, there's only 2 teams that can win rounds. It has to happen. This is a must-win for BCU if they don't want to give up real control this first half.
They did buy in off the back of some of this.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a mix between a force and a bonus here. But you see people like Milk, who's on next to nothing, who use the Sheriff. You'll notice on the map, if you're new to Valorant or new to this map of Abyss, which would be somewhat reasonable considering it's newer, that there are these bits at the top right and on the left of what looked like bits that are not attached. That's because they're not attached. You can fall into the void trying to jump through them, but they are very good points of emphasis, and especially if you want to split a site, you kind of need it, especially on the B site, right? That little jaunt
30
over on the
seconds left.
danger is really important for trying to split the B site and give a couple different angles for the attackers to take. The attackers seem to go straight through the main area.
Off your feet!
Walking in. Aftershock use. Oh, it's a perfect one. Great catch onto Shu. You're not expecting to have that already built up. And Riri finds one off of it, but dies to insanity for that cloud burst down below. Swing and an overswing here for BCU. They've got the split down.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Better shot from Insanity. Really trying to live up to their name in these early stages. And not only do Radford win the bonus round, which they're technically supposed to do anyway, but BCU bought in it, and they keep 3 players alive, which they're
You
certainly
failed.
not supposed
Now
to do.
sleep.
Yeah, BCU is probably a little broke
Scanning
right now.
ahead.
Milk may have a little bit of money, but not a huge amount. Yeah. Tanity was really good that round. And just a separate note, the shock dart kill that he got, the 1 kill trying to push a little bit further into the top mid, the fish area, right? That all felt really good from Tanity, and he's kind of picking up where he left off last game on the deadlock.
A couple bits of information if anybody happens to be curious. In terms of next week, Briar has a bye. Radford plays Harrisburg University, who beat Penn State 2-0 earlier today. Mount St. Mary's and Columbia College are actively playing. There is no score update from there. So,
Oh, bad flash point.
play. Oh no, missed timing. But one that
I
still
have the
favors
spike.
BCU in terms of overall trades. Rika's on 8 HP, but hey, a player alive is better than
A player
a
not
player
alive.
dead. Yeah,
Unless you're Clove. Unless you're Clove, it's a separate matter.
that's a good point.
Yeah. So Hariri got that operator kill early to start the round. That's what he's known for, is making sure that to get these kind of opening picks, to get these really good trades. We'll swap out with the Astra just due to health
Spike
advantages.
down
Hariri
A.
will be able to trade Rika. They don't have control of the site yet, and both Shu and Arfi are here. They're getting smoked
Right
out.
now, I'd go elsewhere. I'd be sprinting to B, even if to step away from A for 5 seconds and then walk back. But I'd be making so much noise that I'm going a different direction, just because you've basically telegraphed you're here. Now,
Deploying
the problem is
drone.
they're sticking around. They're not taking advantage of the time, and they're
30
still
seconds
exposing
left.
the fact that they're looking A. Drone will find nothing because it doesn't have the health to do so, and that Cypher should not be noticed. One kill picked up off the back of it. They still
Spike
have
planted.
control. Somehow, Arfi lets Spike go down.
Last
There's
player
no way
standing.
for him to do that,
One
and they give
enemy
up full
remaining.
site control for it. 1 versus 1. Arfi does not give away the sound cue they've now dropped, but they do have a smoke for main. That
There's a
and
Hunter
Fury
Fury
will
here.
help their case. Hunter Fury, you mentioned it, it's popped out, but look at how much further forward Arfi has gotten. They were forced off the spike. There should only be one more tick of that, but they decide not for it. And
Well,
Jun
they can't use
is
it.
so far away. Arfi, wait, you could have stuck it, and instead you may have given up the round in and of itself. A second tap, but Jun knows that you've now gotten off of that
Diffusing.
same stick
I
through, only for Arfi
My
to
ult's
go
ready.
for aim training and win the round off the back of it. That
Yeah,
was
so-
about as back and forth as things get.
That Hunter's Fury for the Silva actually timed out. It wasn't a choice whether to use it or not.
Yeah.
He just took too long in between shots. Even if you know they're not on the spike there, and you know they're not pushing forward,
1 second,
you kind of
peep.
want to use
I
those
gotta
shots in
visit the
order
Astral
to
to
just
play
kind
some
of zone
stars.
off your opponent. Even if you're going to shoot it far
That'll
left,
work.
maybe towards the hole where they could be pushing you, you want to use those extra 2 more shots there to try and zone.
Right there.
Even if you're not knowing where anybody is, even if you don't hear a tap, it's use it or lose
Watch
it.
this.
And if you use it, you at least have a
Here.
shot of getting something out of it. If you don't shoot, I mean, the old adage of you miss 100% of the shots you don't take literally applies, because in this case, you don't get those shots back, nor the
Well,
other.
you missed 66% of the shots you don't take in this case. You used one of them.
Well, yeah, but he still didn't take 2 shots. And
You know, that's a good point. Recon Bolt hits number 2 early. Won't get the kill onto Freight. Low HP to begin with. Arfi does get a kill on the Milk, and quick another one from Freight. BCU's up in numbers 4-3. He's gonna get the plant down.
because they were previously in Heaven, there's no way for this to be taken actively by Radford. They still think Heaven's occupied. Because either side, that's the big problem. Hariri's seen, so is Freight. Alt finds nothing for the Gecko, but Shu finds 2 with the rifle out, and Hariri's down to 3 knives. Needs to find
One
and
enemy
does so.
remaining.
Oh, he's got another.
Finds that as well. Now a 1v2. We've seen these clutched up before. Demi needs to find both kills though, and as he swings,
Ooh.
Hariri ended up tailwinding back into their teammate, but was still able to find the kill. All 3 of their
They
sets of
demand a
nine
fight.
end up finding
Who are we to
frags,
disobey?
And VCU reestablished.
Yeah, that looked a little hairy there for BCU for a second there, especially when Hariri tailwinded right into the teammate, but managed to get it done. And Hariri picks up the operator as well from number 2's body. So they'll be able to use that sniper rifle to see if they can get a bit of an opening pick here in the 6th round.
Question from now on is how
Radford
much
just
more-
rushing down mid? Hold on here.
I wouldn't blame him. I mean, you've got a lack of weapons. You might as well hold a W if you can. Milk is found, only person seen, and you've got
What
the
you
knives out
finding?
again. They end up not finding the kill there. That's important. You're now down to what, 1 knife, maybe 2? X-ray vision doesn't really tell you that all that much. But
No, but they gave
you
up the
find a kill
Vandal.
at least. Yeah, you find a kill and a gun. Oh, Shu's so dead here. There's no way he
Shu
wins
should
this
be
fight, right?
very dead here.
Oh,
Stop looking. It just lets them push up even closer and closer, and Hariri's off is not going to be as good in this close range, but Freight's Vandal will be great. 3 kills for it in the round. Insanity just
What?
has the one on the
Last
Vandal.
player
on
standing.
the Guardian, but now he's
One
got 3.
enemy remaining.
Recovering it.
Kill from Rick onto number 2. Sandy's been spotted, but the 4K with the picked up Guardian. Secure the round for Radford.
Thrifty.
For all you Ted Lasso fans,
Everybody
Insanity
thank
just used
Wingman.
Wingman
Come on, let's
as
hear it.
Jamie Tart. Hey, look at me. I want the ball.
Vibe
Give me
check.
the
You
ball,
feeling good?
please. I want the
Hope
ball.
so, hope so.
As he goes running across the middle of the site, Wingman's just the biggest bait in the world. Because not only do you want to shoot Wingman, but you want to think, oh, wait, I still have to take this fight. So you're still in the back of your mind thinking, wait, there's a pseudo-inanimate object running by me. I should totally look at that. But you don't want to look at it. So Insanity's basically got the best flashbang in the world sitting right in front of them while still being able to see their opponent. Insanity wins the fight. 4K with the Guardian. No way you're supposed to fight that.
No, the Guardian wasn't even bought by them. The Guardian was picked up.
Yeah.
It was a Hail Mary kind of play that you push 5 down mid and kind of hope and pray you get a gun, and that's exactly what happened. It's a round you shouldn't win, but they do it anyway.
Wow. That's a round you're going to want back. If you are on the opposite side of that one, you're thinking, obviously, if you're BCU, how do we give up that gun early? You're kind of split, which makes sense early rounds. But if you give up a rush like that, you have to play as connected as you can. And they kind of split up too much post-plant. They gave away too many angles, obviously slightly too distracted on a couple of gunfights. And the 2v1, it is what it is. But that's where Radford's thinking, wow, how have we escaped with that?
3-3 now. Radford will have weapons. On the other hand, Briarcliff will not have weapons. I know that sounds very simple, but Briarcliff came into that round with a lot of weapons, and Radford didn't have anything. Oh, they've turned quickly. Break's gonna get shots on a lot, but Riri was
One
down.
enemy remaining.
70's got 2
Spike
with this
down A.
Phantom. So the hero of last round with 4 on the Guardian, but 2 with the Phantom will close out this round quickly for them. Milk's the last one alive. Sheriff in hand.
We've seen
More
some
than a
amazing
dream.
1v5 attempts. This is not one of them, but we've seen some amazing 1v5 attempts.
Will they try the same old tricks?
4-3, Radford taking things back the opposite direction. And now you're thinking, if you're Radford, wait, we found a new breath of life that we probably shouldn't have had otherwise. If BC win the round they absolutely should have, which was better weaponry against nearly a full eco and a blade storm, then they're probably winning, what, 5-2 right now?
Yeah.
Maybe. And they're looking at a fairly confident 6th because that probably would have been a buy for Radford that they should have gone on top of. Instead, they're down a round when they should be up 3, if not at least up 2. And Radford has basically all the advantages in the world. They're on 3 ultimates actively. They're a couple away from another one as well. And they're actively playing defense in the site that's being taken.
Yeah, it feels like Radford is kind of playing via chaos, as where BCU is playing not via chaos. It's just that Radford is making everything their fight, whereas BCU is letting them come to them, letting them not take the fight the way they
Here.
want.
5v5 as the spike is planted. Number 2 takes out Milk for a flank. A 1-for-1, make a 2-for-1 trade favoring BCU though. Radford's still in the general area. A swap gun.
One enemy remaining. Last
Life.
player
1v1
standing.
with Insanity, who steps up again. A flurry of frags in either direction, but again, it's the Gecko who's going to get the defuse at the tail end of it, and Radford escape with cold-blooded murder alongside grand larceny of another stolen round. And
an operator.
That's 2 of 3. You're not supposed to get away with any of this.
Can we get a quick scoreboard check, please? Because Insanity's got to have like 15 kills at this point. 13 kills. That's a lot of kills. And an operator to drop right back to number 2. And I know that number 2 missed the shot in that round on switching from the operator to the Vandal, but number 2 has been pretty good with this operator the entire game. So you kind of want to give him the weapon that's going to be the best thing for him. Insanity on this Phantom has been lights out.
Okay, I just want to point out, I said I really want the initiators to step up in a big way. In
Oh,
game
they're
2.
stepping up.
No, now granted, it's Insanity, who was also top fragging game 1 on an initiator, so it does not apply as much as my point was previously, but it's still there. Gecko, 13 frags in 8 rounds, not supposed to happen immediately. You're just above a 1.5 KP.
Deploying drone.
Fendi spots Milk, trying to get a little bit of information on library, but won't see anything more. She was kind of the sole holder of this main area. Astra's up in heaven towards the side, but not going to really be in the most excellent of positions yet. Especially when they walk away and go make sure that no one's coming up catwalk.
Game of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
ECU is so spread here, especially 45 seconds left in this round. Cypher has seen 2 players, one with the operator, another with a phantom. So you've identified at least 2 towards B. Your gamble should be, wait, there's at least one more looking towards mid. We should be going A right now, but it's working.
30 seconds
Wait a second.
left.
It's working, and they're going the wrong direction. The bait is working, but the Sova's going the wrong way. Go back. You have all of B for your free take. Now they're trying to go in that direction. They're going to lose this round because of timing and player count alone. Maria basically alone on the site. Finds a second. Wait a second. Spike's being planted.
10
inside of
seconds
the
left.
Spike's going to get it down
My ult
just
is ready.
in time. And now they've got a flank coming through. A 3 make it 2v2.
One enemy remaining.
As Tennedy found another, but Freight is sitting just below the heaven ankle. And there's
One
no way
enemy
he's supposed to
remaining.
find either kill here. You found one.
No, there's 2.
Seconds. Does he get away? No. Oh no, just play the angle. Why run?
So that was a Radford was down 2 to 4 members at the beginning of this take here. And they
Another
managed to
operator,
get
by the way.
everything. Yeah, and that is the big ticket weapon. They keep it round after round.
My
after
ult is ready.
That's okay. On so
Scanning
many levels
ahead.
that it's not supposed to happen. Couple setups. Number 1, you see and hear players sprinting away from the B site while you actively have both mid and B main control. You should be thinking, I want the Sova to sprint the opposite direction. You had enough time. At about the 25, maybe even 30-second mark, you had enough time. The other point, not only how does Radford have a player disadvantage that late, but how does BCU pick up the player advantage? They had basically a 3v5 on an over-defended site as a spike was being planted inside of a smoke. I can't telegraph more of, hey, look at me, I'm planting over here. Please shoot in this general direction. Shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have. It's definitely a little bit weird, and we see Radford taking the time out here, which makes sense. I know it doesn't make sense off the look of it, right? But if you're Radford, if you're the coach for Radford, you go and look at this game and you're like, holy, we have won
Should
like
not be
4
winning.
rounds in a row that we should not be
Yeah.
winning. I can guarantee you those players are going a little chaos mode in their heads right now and kind of need to calm down for a second and make sure that they're on the same page. Make sure that they're all kind of together. It's difficult for a coach to be able to calm everyone down. We'll see if Radford's going to be able to continue their kind of chaos brigade
not.
here. Their barrage of chaos.
As fun as it is to watch, it's objectively not great Valorant.
It's infuriating.
It's upsetting that they're winning. I'm an impartial third party.
Yeah.
But seeing them do all this at the start of rounds and see, oh yeah, hell yeah, they've won a lot of these rounds. And BCU, same case.
Here.
They should be winning a lot of these, but they're just not giving themselves correct opportunities to pick them up. They found a jet. Hide and go seek works with the trap wire.
Here.
So that's nice.
But the jet's
Here.
gone already.
Yeah, it's walked away. Nobody's there to follow up. For some reason, a Cypher is alone again. Last time that happened, by the way, they lost the round because they gave over a Guardian for free, and Insanity picked up a 4K with it. In this case, they have the weapon disadvantage rather than the weapon advantage, and yet they're still doing the same thing. But also, Radford's timeout also serves as a, oh yeah, hey, we're losing, or we should be losing a lot of these rounds, but somehow we're winning them. Ha ha ha, I'm laughing at you guys while calling a timeout.
Yeah. I was going to say, Milk pinged where number 2 was when he was super deep, but he actually heard the tailwind. Kind of have to assume it's back. That's 1 kill right now onto Freight from this operator. You slow push from everyone else. Tennedy gonna jump up, gonna get spotted by the recon.
I know
Gonna
exactly
get another one onto
where
number
you
2. It's a
are.
3v4 here in
more
the round.
secrets.
Radford's got another kill. 2
Revealing
kills
area.
left to
30
get
seconds left.
BCU.
Spike planted.
Oh, the spray's a
One
little
enemy
questionable.
remaining.
Doctor. That's right. And a
Jump
classic.
over.
That's missing. Knife him. Please knife him. Let's go. Kennedy. I love the content. Call another timeout just because you can. I'm kidding. They can't. They only get 1 timeout per half. But
It's Chaos Barrage. I'm telling you, man. They're throwing the kitchen sink at them because why would you expect there to be so many people right there for the retake? it wasn't that telegraphed of a take. It was a gamble stack by Radford towards the end of that round of, hey, we saw one person at B. We think that they're not going to fake this.
Yeah.
And they stacked right.
The problem is, as soon as you see a second player there, the operator sees the shoulder of the breach swinging from the bottom of main. You're thinking, oh yeah, this is a gamble. Because you've already seen the fact they have lesser weaponry. You've heard a Sheriff, you've heard a couple classics. It was not a good buy. So you're immediately thinking, oh, it's going to be a rush late in the round. Or it's going to be a rush early.
You want to fight it?
You're gambling, they're going that direction. Good Cosmic Divide. This is so good for BCU to take all this control. And there's no sound that gets through this either. Already you have no clue from that left side of the line going up the map that anybody's run.
You see the
through
pings
this. Now
on the
they're
map,
sounding A, but it's just not good enough. Double recon. This
Up and over here. Great. Get any? He's got the one. Milk's got the other. Shoot this. Get it straight back on the middle. Number 2's gonna just walk through, grab freight. It's like a
Spike
train.
down
And Hariri's
A.
gonna get the trade back into number 2. Hariri's the only one left in the site. The Astra still's got to enter the site now. Walk up, grab the spike as it is. Recon Bolt gonna be shot down quickly. Insanity's coming around.
One enemy
Just the head of
remaining.
Hariri as they're looking to grab him, and Rick is so
Go
close.
get him. My wingman's down.
Man's close, been shot down. Rick is the only one left. He's pushing around the corner, trying to grab Insanity here. They're swapping spots. Rick is just free. Rick is kind of free for a second here. Can he get Kennedy?
One enemy
Oh, Spray's
remaining.
good. Does get the shot. 33 seconds left running to the other side.
So while all
30
that
seconds
happened,
left.
Thrash was used, importantly enough. It detained the spike planter and gave information as to where they were planting. That's how the Hunter's Fury knew where to shoot. If anybody's wondering, hey, he has X-ray vision. No, it was just a really well-placed Thrash. Problem is, Rick is expecting the Gecko to rotate from either mid or main. Instead, they're walking all the way through to heaven, and they've been seen and shot through the wall. Insanity could not have timed that any better if they were going for a lack of information being given over. This is a 4th round now where Insanity has not only found the final kill of it, but they've also gone for the fuse and
enough of that.
saved what could have been a disaster. Radford need to be thanking their lucky stars and their
Last
very
round
good
before the
Gecko
switch.
for all the fortuitous happenstances that have gone their direction in this first half.
Insanity was good on the last map. He's been even better on this map. He's been lights out just this entire map so far.
I could say he's been insane.
You,
so
you,
sorry.
would
I'm
he
so sorry.
evoke some insanity from you?
He already has.
Okay.
Can we get a kill count really quick? Insanity was at 13.
8 rounds
round
into the
8.
game? Yeah.
Yeah, it's round 11 now.
We'll get one during halftime.
That's
here.
true. Yeah, we can wait.
Radford's up 8-3 going into the last round and a half right now. Can they hit 4? Will it be the 9-3 curse? First shot will come through from number 2.
I mean, you've seen one person. I think you heard a second. That should be enough to say, hey, Radford, let's move elsewhere. As long as you hear enough early in the round, you're expecting that's not the finishing point of it. Owl Drone will go through here. We'll see 2, if not 3 players. Maybe it is the finishing point over on this B side. Good spray.
They're going towards A. They're going towards A, and it's all going to be on Arfie here. Can he get anything? He's got some damage to start. Astra's going to use an orb really early here to just play defensively.
What's it called? Cussing it.
Concussion made 1 kill, 2
that's
kills.
perfect.
Insanity's on the
Spike
B9.
down A.
Take if needed. Hariri's already on low health. Arfie. Mirror matchup there. Rika will get the kill, and Milk's got another one onto Insanity.
Here.
But just 2 HP remains on Milk, and just a couple more over on Hariri.
I think we'll cut a sound cue, though. Knows number 2's coming that direction, and number 2's going to have to melee the door anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Okay,
number 2
number
still
2.
finds the shorty kill, and with low HP on Hariri, this becomes a true 2v2, but with the advantage now in favor of Radford. It also comes down to timing. This recon bolt could be disastrous. The smoke
One
bolt could
enemy
be as well.
remaining.
How's the timing?
Last
1 for
player
1.
standing.
But Hariri guessing the wrong way. It's a shorty from like 15 meters that kills Hariri because he
That's
looked
disgusting.
the wrong direction.
That's
Disastrous
disgusting.
again, and it's 9-3 at the half. Radford reasonably could have lost 8 rounds in this first half, if not more than that. This
Yeah.
could be 9-3 the opposite direction.
Is this
There's
a 9-3
no way.
curse, or is
Switching
this...
sides.
First
'cause
half was the 9-3 curse.
There's some of this that you look at and just go, well, you know what? Radford's just having themselves a day. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
Like, Radford's just having themselves a day right now. It's the Chaos Brush. They are not letting up on the gas pedal. They have found the gas pedal, and they are slamming it down.
They're also apparently slamming their desks and being disconnected. Whether it was because somebody slammed their desk and maybe disconnected power cord or because network issues, beyond me. But somebody's actively disconnected. They may have come back. We're not
They are
sure. That's the
back.
reason you see our faces here at halftime. And magically, we
back.
go back. Wow, I'm so good.
I wonder if you
That-
didn't say that they were back, if they would actually have been back.
I don't think so. Yeah. Dizzy just went way too far. Probably thrown a little errantly. I think they were trying to clear the close corner with that. That was actually decent. Just process elimination. But I'm going to say it. If Radford win the pistol, I think this game's over. BCU need a pistol win because that comeback is just so difficult, especially after losing what is the clear and obvious advantage of the pistol round.
See what they want to do here. It will be the first kill for number 2, and a lot of pistol shots get shared between both, but Freight will grab
Right
kill
there.
onto Tenedy, so it's even so far. Hariri's Sheriff has yet to be spot this round in an actual meaningful way, and I don't know if it will be either. So it seems like they want to go towards the B site. Number 2 will be the first one in. Uses the tailwind just to try and get in further to the site. Rick is the only one here.
Man's planning. Rika has not been seen
Spike
or heard.
planted.
That's important. They're walking
Ooh.
through their own smoke. And if they can get farther enough, they're in a decent spot. The problem is you give up so much space and information. Freight dies as the smoke dissipates, and you're not there immediately for the refrag.
Need that
You
back.
at least can pick up their ghost. Bait and switch, I suppose, but you also have lost mid-control. I think this round's over. Radford should have this one in the bag.
And they've got an Astra flanking as well.
Yeah.
You can see just walking into Fish, walking to Aqua right now.
Last player
Coming around on the
standing.
back. Number 2 and Shoot each have a kill of their own, and there's
He's
one
fine.
above as well. Jung knows.
Nice.
Don't matter though.
Oh,
There we go.
boo.
Giving the 4K over to number 2. Good teammate. Good vibes.
Boo. Knife him.
Outlaw's purchase. We saw the Outlaw in the second half over on Bind as well.
Watching here.
In the second round. And it was really powerful there because he was able to get the one shots. We'll see how much work Offie can get using it this time.
I would not be surprised if it's just Offie who steps up to at least start to bring this one back. I mean, Outlaw would be superb
There's my buddy.
if you're on that side, but if Offie, I'm gonna say if they miss a couple too many, you could give up a lot more with the Outlaw. That would be their big problem.
That's some shots onto Insanity early. It's gonna get brought down.
Dizzy's up top.
No healers on either team for what it's worth. We haven't really mentioned the lack of that. It
You
hasn't
did
been
good.
an issue really.
Yeah.
Look how they're overloading this A site though, over for PCU.
You gotta take
They've
a
got-
gamble. You got the weapon disadvantage.
Better luck
There's the
next
Outlaw
life.
coming through. Look at the first kill.
Get him in the
We'll get a
leg.
shot on Freight.
No way!
You're not really that upset about just dealing damage either. Even if it's not full kills, it's still damage.
Barring a Herculean effort from Rika here, and you've got only a stinger, and you're almost certainly taking at least one long distance fight. Wingman's going to try and plant here. You should be able to deny that, but you're trying to take a fight from too far. Spike will be dropped. At minimum, something goes your way,
30
and you actually
seconds
get out
left.
alive. Hold the
I don't
phone,
know
but
how.
you can't defend the Spike. That's the problem. Sure, you get out alive. Great misses
Spike
their
planted.
shots. Outlaw misses as well. But a Spike plant and a 5v4. Make it a 4v4 and a smoke up to hold off and stave off the distance coverage. There may be hope for them yet. But
Last player
Rise from
standing.
The heaven lurk. Harpy and Kennedy step up with the Outlaws. Radford fine 11. BCU's got basically one more round to try and bring this one back.
Yeah, that right there, that was the wallet being slapped on the table, and you could hear it because that was thick with dollar bills. It was a gun diff. That's all it was right there. You saw the Outlaw get the first kill on half to start, and once they really started trying to take the site, BCU couldn't do a huge amount about it. To start, Radford got the plant, and once they got the plant, the round was kind of over. You had to do something heroic there from BCU, and the heroics were just not there. This is BCU's best chance, as you said before. They will have a bye here. It may be their only bye, but
Yeah.
Does Jun have a Marshal?
It looks like it. I mean, Tennedy already finding milk. I said this is their last chance because this is really their only buy. Should they lose it, they're going to be scraping together whatever they can out of the trash can in terms of weaponry.
It absolutely is a Marshall.
It's going to be 1800s quality guns coming out in round number 16 should they lose this one. And I'm not holding my breath for anything from the 20th century or onward. Hariri has to fight with Dizzy and Out. Jun was blinded as well. Yeah, this is... I think it's hard.
Spike planted.
Sandy gets the plant down. BCU is down 2 members here in their attempt to retake. They don't have any vision, and Hariri's weaponry is just not great. Rick is on the flank completely, but the Outlaw will take him out. Hariri's got 1. Just a quick headshot onto number 2. There'll be more to start. Freight does get another trade onto Tennedy, but this feels so brutal if you're trying to retake this. Smoke will come out to start. Defuse will start, but they won't be finished. The pull from the Astra will hit. Make sure no one gets through. Hariri's got no more bullets left. Shu will grab 1, Insanity the other. And we are on map point for Radford University.
Match point.
I don't know if they all
Come
sat
on,
in a prayer
get
circle,
me in the line
if
of
they,
fire.
Brought up the rain dance between maps. We're looking for some Greek god to help them through map number 2. But this is just a completely different team. I also don't know if this is A, because they prepped so well in Abyss, or B, because of Insanity. I sincerely do not know. 15 rounds in, Insanity's at 18 frags, 1.2 KPR. It's a little bit lower than their previous 1.5.
Get out of my way.
It's still a good number. And honestly, Bradford's been running this. Problem is, it's only on Abyss. I don't know how Haven will go when we get there because we haven't really seen them step up in a big way on normal maps.
I don't know yet either. Haven feels very normal as compared. Because Bind, there was a good amount of teleporter plays to start, so see what goes through here. Tennedy wants to use the Owl Drone to kind of peek around the corner for him. Freight sitting at the end with June. They're just playing slow here.
Saw each other.
They're just playing really slow here, but in like a good way. Number 2's got the first kill. June's got a trade right back. Shock Dart should be coming through now.
That's
be a recon
big
bolt
pick for
instead.
BCU though. But dropping a jet and one with a Blade Storm out, you're shutting down a big factor that Radford was more than likely waiting around to see if it would pay off for them. And now, I don't know if BCU is going to have to play too far forward. They've got a decent
30
mid set
seconds
up
left.
on A. They've got a double stack on B with another star thrown there, by the way, that's now been put off. And Tennedy may think this is clear when it's, in fact,
Blocking sight.
not.
Oh, he gets us. The smoke gets over it quick enough.
Here.
Riri's just still alive here, and they don't know. It doesn't really matter because Radford is planting over on the A
Spike
side.
planted.
1 kill for Rika already on Shu. Members that have been doing the most amount of work, Tennedy and Insanity, are both still alive here, though. See what more, if they can do anything. Insanity will poke his head out, but nothing more.
They should know at least 2 players are in main. Problem
Concealment.
is they don't know where the third
Obscuring
is. That could be
vision.
the one thing
Monster
they're
on
not
the
thinking
loose.
of. Crash Throne should get shot out and is. Spike Diffuse was initiated but has not been stuck. And watch for that Sova still walking through heaven above. Keep an eye on them as they walk through because this smoke does not have all that much more time on it. They found one on the Rika. Recon Bolt thrown
One
out and they
enemy
know that
remaining.
it's
Oh, that's
still
it.
sticking.
Ult is ready.
BCU's got a shot to try and stick in this one, but it's only on June.
How do you go
Radford
2 angles?
Needs
1 enemy
just
remaining.
one single
Doesn't
kill,
matter.
and they
Time
are
has
gonna
it either way.
Attackers
Had it
win.
either way there. 13-3. The first map was insanely close, right? It was 10-13 in Briarcliff's favor, but the second map, it didn't even look like Briarcliff showed up for a minute. 13-3 is just kind of brutal, man.
And the problem is, you're thinking to yourself, like, there's a lot more rounds that Briarcliff won, right? No, it came down to arguably a lot of missed opportunities. No beating around the bush. They should have won probably 6 of those rounds, if not at least 7 or 8, and 3 or 4 of them they had full control of. And there were a couple more where Radford just called down on some deity praying above and somehow got some help from in the heavens. I don't know how that plays out in the game of Valorant, but that seemingly was the case here.
I think it was more of a deal with the devil. They went down further into the abyss than the map was and kind of fished it right out. We will have a map 3. It will be Haven, which is pretty normal, and both teams should really know how to play it. We'll see what happens on Haven, but we'll be back right after a quick break just to get ready for map 3. Hello. Now, I'd like to note that if you got any of the maps wrong this time, I'm really disappointed because it's the second time you've seen them.
If it's the
That's
first
really-
time you've seen them and you just joined us, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You're okay then. But if you've been here the whole series, what are you doing, man? Like,
Not paying attention, apparently.
not paying attention. We've got Haven up, map 3, the last map of the night. Regardless of what happens, there will be a winner and a loser. That's how this works. What are we expecting? What are we expecting, Mr. Statman?
I just got word from our producer. This is actually a best of 5, so we will see maps 4 and 5 if needed. I'm
All
joking.
right.
No. Haven should be a little bit more stock standard for everybody who's been sitting around Valorant for more than 15 minutes. Maybe if you've been sitting around for like an hour to 2 hours, you may not know it as well because it was out of the map pool for a little while. Should never have been, by the way. But since it's
Perfect
back,
map.
it's played the exact same way it did beforehand, just with a few new agents added into the fray. I think big factor here may be an ISO. I'd love to see an ISO. I don't think we have anybody playing as individualistic as an ISO would require, so maybe not. But I can
Yeah.
hope.
I think the other thing with ISO is it was really good when it got buffed, but it hasn't been at that level for a little bit.
Yeah.
They kind of nerfed it the patch after. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Astra here. I know it's not generally like an S++ tier pick on this map, but Astra's really good in the meta right now. And there's there's something to be said of like Astra's good in the meta, and it seems that both teams are particularly comfortable playing Astra.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. The Brimstones from map 1 wouldn't surprise me to see that coming back as well. I do expect both the duelists to be playing Jet. We maybe see a cheeky Phoenix, but I don't really expect that either.
If we're not going to see an ISO, I don't think we're going to see a Phoenix.
Yeah.
My outside selections here would be Viper or Sky, because we saw the Sky back on Bind, and Viper was at least hovered for 3 seconds back on Abyss. We could see that into this game. I don't think anybody even further than that. We may see another Gecko, just because Gecko found pretty good payload for both teams in the last couple maps. That could be the case. But my 3 big, outside of the top 28% or 28% pick rate or above, they would be ISO, Astra, Viper, maybe Sky. That's really it. Gecko's the most outside chance of that. We'll see if that is the case as we go into our agent selection. Radford will start on the attack for the first time in this series. BCU starts over on the defensive side, and it seems like we're getting what should be the standard. The most common agent composition is Breach, Omen, Sova, Jet, Killjoy. And I think that's the case for both teams, minus a Cypher for Milk.
Yeah, we've seen everyone play these agents across the board. Tonight, definitely, on the defender side. On the attacker side, well, we've seen no Omen tonight across the board. Shu on the Killjoy is a little interesting. I'm here for it, but definitely a little interesting. We do see both sides bring the Jets out again.
Jet's not abnormal here. I mean, really nothing's abnormal. Cypher's the most, oh wow, I kind of wasn't expecting that. But even then, Cypher is a part of the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 8th most common compositions. And alone has a 43% pick rate. It's really either Cypher or Killjoy. You got your 2 options there. And in this case, it's both.
This case is both. The Killjoy is a little weird to me. It doesn't feel like this map has the same kind of sight lines that a map that Killjoy really flourishes on would have.
Yeah.
Right. For example, think about Bind, where Killjoy really flourishes, or Ascent, where Killjoy really flourishes. Feels like those maps have a lot less of the long takes area. But you can use the Killjoy over in... Oh, goodness. I've forgotten the map call out for the area
Garage.
in between. Yes, Garage. Thank you. Jelena, it's a box and didn't call it, didn't jump to me. Number 2, through to start. Nothing more than that, but Insanity will get the first kill onto June.
And Insanity is picking up where they left off. What did they pick up?
Yep.
Like 20 kills out of game 1? No, 18. Kennedy stepped up in a big way and stole the 20 bomb. But it really doesn't matter.
Last player
Close range
standing.
actually swings off the back of Rika, but Insanity's still there. A 3-piece already, wants 4, and Hariri needs to 1v4 to try and pick up the round. I would not be holding my breath if I'm a BCU fan here, though. You've got a Sheriff, which is notoriously a terrible gun against multiple opponents. And 4 opponents.
Nailed it.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
there's one.
Okay, number 2's dead. But
Spike
clear
planted.
RP here? No. No, you don't.
I'm a big fan of the Sheriff as a scam movement. I think for the Sheriff's price, you can buy a Ghost and be exactly as happy, if not happier.
You know, they should make a baby revolver and call it the Deputy.
Okay, what does this do for us?
It's a less expensive Sheriff
Okay,
that is still, like, a decent weapon.
I think it should only
But
have
is
one
it-
shot. I think it should be like the Marshall, but just one shot.
But would it be, like, one shot to the body, though, for anybody who doesn't have any shields?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And you only get one shot, and you have
You
to
only get
reload.
one
It's
shot,
kinda
and then you have to reload.
Concussing!
Like, okay, I'm okay with that. I think that's a good idea. Somebody email Rito. Milk escapes with their life somehow. Shout out Cybercage, I guess. And BC have lost the opening pick here. And a decent bit of damage. This is, to sum up the obvious, not good.
Definitely not good. I would be willing to describe this as not ideal. Radford University, though, should be winning this round. We talked about last map how there are these bonus rounds. You have the better weapons. Radford's on their bonus round right here. You see number 2 just running in. This is a free site. There's nothing here to worry about. Flashpoints go through, but nothing more. We'll see a start of a retake here from June and from Freight.
Spike
Towards the
planted.
defending spawn.
Right there.
Pro players going towards garage as well, and Hariri taking up the rear. But
Blinding!
all 5 of the Radford University players are just all the way back down.
Charges.
So Radford stopped playing first-person shooters and gone for a more hide-and-go-seek approach. And it's the best call ever, considering they're facing a Marshall and a couple long-distance pistols. Aftershocks there. So were the kills. Just
Last player
Okay.
standing.
Hariri
That's
kills one through a teammate, but Milk has to 1v4 here with a classic, and it's just not going to happen.
Will they beat this? Kind of cleared it a little bit. Sanity's able to get a kill towards the end of the day.
It's honestly a really clean round for Radford.
It is a clean
Much
round.
better.
I think the
I need
entirety
this.
of Radford
My
is
dice.
very happy that Insanity was able to get that kill there. They bring the Sheriff over to the next round, which doesn't seem like a huge thing, but any gun you can bring over
Yes,
from your
this should
bonus
do.
round is a win right here.
Yeah. And into the bonus, BCU, yeah, they're going to be able to buy here. But
That goes there.
we've seen them take advantages and decide, oh, wait, hey, let me put that in the toilet and flush it really quick. I don't want that. That's too good for me. And then lose the round. So hopefully that's not the case. Jun is approaching A main. Number 2 is in a great position here to just stave off anyone who wants to get aggro. And it looks like 3 players are at least thinking about it. Hariri, I think, has a Marshall in hand.
I believe that's
Freight is
correct.
close, and Jun is at a distance. Oh, and Hariri dies. Somehow with a scoped weapon. Doesn't even get a shot off. Gets dusted by number 2.
It's the go.
Freight-
Number 2 is just the go. That's all it is.
I mean, Freight goes 1 for 1 there. You take out number 2, but you lose your breach in a round where you need abilities. That, we'll say a little overzealous.
Definitely a little overzealous, and you'll see Milk is the last
Cage
defender
triggered.
here on the C site.
My
He does
eyes
get
are
the kill
better
onto
than
Shu, and
yours.
that's the big one to
Off your
start.
feet!
Rolling Thunder comes through. Milk's just going to give the site up. I think this is the right call for Milk.
Sova's
what
gonna
is-
go ships in the night here?
This is interesting. What's going on here with Tanady?
Kennedy just goes the long way around and is going all the way towards long. Insanity now has to think about it because you heard a Sova. So Insanity's watching
here's a
this
trip.
position.
There's a trip in the
One
middle there.
bullet!
Cover
So he
going
shot
out.
it. Watch the Cypher. Cypher may have to turn around. And Arfie isn't being clear in the back side of
Flash
the
out.
site. Insanity, flash around the corner. This should be the round. No way you clear the back of the site. And long as well. Arfie has made noise. That was an audible drop, so you can see Rick is looking for it. But look at the time. Not only is the Sova holding this,
There
they
they
shot
are.
Tripwire earlier. That's just a noise.
One enemy
Arfie's
remaining.
just waiting in the back of
Last
the site,
player
and they've been
standing.
cleared. Ricka makes it a 1v1, and this
There's
is
no
so
time.
reasonable. It was
No
until
charges.
Valiant.
There's
Cover going out.
well done by Radford to just keep this round alive, even though it didn't look particularly great. Lasova being really off to the side is brutal.
I mean, you combine that with the fact that you're just trying to keep BCU looking in every which way. Sova sitting mid, Arfi goes to the backside of sight. He's still the player sitting long, somehow holding that angle and then winning their fight, by the way. Great job doing that. And now Radford, they're thinking, wait, we've now escaped the bonus round as well. BCU wasn't able to keep any more than one player alive at the end of it. And you still got weapons going into round number 4. Best case scenario by a decent distance. Marshall out. It does body shot damage. Number 2 goes for 1 as well.
Super.
Freight had a free kill. No.
That looked so good. And the problem is we've seen that Radford is definitely one of these momentum-based teams. They get a couple rounds going. They get a lot going really quick. And if you win the conversion round there, that third round that you just have a couple bonus guns in, you're not really buying, you're in a great place. Milk is on a really good flank here. If Radford chooses not to commit here, Milk is in a great place. The problem is there's only 2 players on the site, and now with Jundan taken out there, there's only 1 player left on the site.
Shadows
for
traveling.
University.
Shadows
Good
traveling.
news is 3
Last
players
player
are
standing.
Rick is
one
so
shot.
dead.
Bad news is Rick is dead. So Milk has a decent shot here. Problem is they've now got it with an outlaw,
Spike
which is a
planted.
one-shot body shot anyway. And I mean, this is basically a done deal. Yeah, 3 players are on low HP, but it's really not going to matter unless you bring out the sheriff, which they now do. At least giving themselves a
My
shot.
ultimate is
One
ready.
shot to the leg of Arfi would not have died unless they were shot by the marshal earlier.
There's
But
a lot
now
of
you
half
think of
health
the
here,
time.
man.
Yeah, one's heaven, one's sitting close on the elbow. Shu finds the kill they were looking for. Not too much good.
If you get that as a
me a
one-shot headshot
moment.
around the corner, there's a
I need to
chance,
sit
but
back. No more
you have to
charges
clear
left.
that killjoy to start, and it just didn't happen. Timeout from Briarcliff here. It's going to be the start of the round for their timeout little shtick.
Yeah.
4 rounds early for Radford.
I mean, if Briarcliff don't win the round here, I'm looking at another dominant type of at least half, if not game. Their defense just seemingly hasn't found an opening kill at any point,
Here.
at least not a consequential one. It has been traded every time they have. And more importantly, at the tail end of nearly every round, they're losing the direction they need to go in. They're not winning the fights they need to. I mean, obviously, mechanical skill is a big part of this game. It is a first-person shooter, after all. Shooter's a big part of
Shooter
that.
being the operative word.
Yeah, the other problem is they're just not finding the timing they need. It's kind of similar to Abyss, but with a lot less randomness added in. And, I mean, the fact that Radford's just having nearly everybody's number, or number 2 is having everybody else's number. It's just
Number
not something that can
2's
be
number
avoided.
1. There's some who's on first joke ready to be made here with number 2. I don't know what it is. I haven't gotten that far.
You ever seen the How I Met Your Mother spin-off
Yes.
of that joke?
Yes. Not where. Where's lame?
Yeah,
Yes.
Lame's a gay bar.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Big sitcom fan.
I've seen that show.
Cage triggered.
That is one of the few shows I've watched all the way through. Great How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Milk's camera's a little questionable there. You won't be able to see too deep in, but once they pass that point, they'll be
Tripwire
able to see.
destroyed.
Tripwire has been destroyed to start,
My camera
Where's
is
the cam?
destroyed.
and the cam's gone now. There's no space for Radford yet.
One thing is they don't really need it. They
No, they
seemingly
don't.
have been happy with early round just slowing down. The only place they've really played aggro on a consistent basis is A main. And the fact they're not doing so here should be very concerning to BCU. Because either they're going to do it late in the round or they're headed elsewhere. Now they seem to be ready for B, but nobody's in an active angle. These are all passive angles. You're all waiting for somebody to walk into you through a point of contact. Benefit is, you got 2 players sitting at 180-degree angles on either side, and there's no friendly fire in Valorant. So this would be helpful. But there goes number 2. Taylor on the other side doesn't see either player, but now does. And
Spike
somehow
down.
John
My
doesn't
ult's
know,
ready.
and no, it's Rika who had no idea. How do you not look up? Sound cue, your teammate shot there, and now John
30
solo
seconds
on the
left.
site dies as well.
Spike
Disaster
planted.
has struck, and thy name is number 2.
One enemy
1,
remaining.
2. Milk.
Everyone.
He's got 2. Neural theft is up. Shu's the only one left. Be able to defend this. There's a lot going here. There's a lot good for Shu.
One enemy
They know the
remaining.
general location. Hariri's gone down. To a nice shot from Shu.
Taking
Milk
it.
is just sticking it. Milk is just sticking it.
Oh,
He pops up, but he doesn't get it. Oh,
Yes.
this is
This is the
excellent
content we need. Making sure the control key works.
content. How did Milk get off that and get the headshot just in time?
Have you seen that one guy on social media who does like the windmill thing where you crouch, look down, and as you're looking down, you stand back up and look back the other way? I think it's called the windmill. I don't remember what the...
You don't know what the context is, but you know about
no.
the move.
Yeah, I don't
This is
remember
a
the
nice
name
spot.
of the move, but basically you do it to completely avoid headshots. It really only works against good players, because bad players will shoot at your body and you die anyway. But you do it against good players, and they're trying to shoot at a very movable head that has gone back to the original spot. That's what it looked like when you get off the defuse there.
All right, Blade Storm going to be popped here from number 2. First round for Briar right there. Comes from Heroics, to be honest. Flash
Very blind.
gone through, but number 2 did pop. One. Can't get more than the one. Milk, the hero of last round's got another kill here. Does take out the guard. Quick push through.
One
Milk,
enemy
he's got 2
remaining.
more in the round. Rick has got 1, but Arfie's got 2 straight back.
Watch them
Oh, no.
run.
Arfie's just on A. Just free and clear for this plant if he wants it.
He's taking too long. Wait a second.
Wait,
Hariri's already here.
Spike
Hariri's already
planted.
here. What an interesting place to plant because Hariri knows now. He's got all the vision in the world here. And he's got a Sova right next to him. Owl drone is about to go out.
Problem is they're throwing the Owl Drone here, and nobody's staying off the back of it. Good usage of the dark cover. But Arfie's walked inside of it, and is now playing on the far side of the site. This is near perfect. Recon Bolt will find him. That's the problem. He's now looking for it! Take the fight! Huh?
Where's... Can I get a telestrator just so I can put a question mark on the screen? This is what I want.
So there are a lot of ways that you could play first-person shooters in a 1v2. Of all the ways that you are supposed to do so, that is not one of them.
Yeah, that one's not great. I'm gonna be honest. That one doesn't feel great.
Room for
Does not
improvement.
feel
I think that's where we put it. Educational opportunity. This is
Educational
collegiate.
opportunity.
We'll see if there's something learned from that fight. There should have been a lot of better opportunities there. It was all good until you stepped out of the dark cover. That's basically how things ended. Unfortunate. So
Slow round to
4-0.
start. Yeah. Definitely a
BCU
bit.
just, and now they're farther forward than they have been otherwise. Nobody's played in this mid cubby. Rika should not be noted, and nobody was sitting mid earlier. That was number 2 clear. My guess is absolutely not, but I've seen crazier things.
Question is, how much
Goodbye.
noise
Off your feet!
does Rick
Why
make?
destroyed?
There's Rolling Thunder to start. Milk does get spotted by Kennedy. Does go through. Shoot, grabs the kill onto Freight as Freight jumps through the window.
Timing just negative there for BCU. This is
No,
probably a save.
Yeah, it's really bad on the timing. You see that they're all sitting up in B. They know that this round's kind of over. The second that Freight dies jumping out of
Here.
window, it's kind of brutal for them to try and take it back. They have no more flashes really. Yeah, you see here we just kind of hold up here, trying to keep the operator. Make sure they stay with it.
Playing some healthy angles to make sure they don't go encroach on you, but also not getting active and trying to encroach on their spot. Not a bad call for BCU. I mean, you lose 2 players, you give up a spike plant, you don't have any outside site control. There's just no reason to go for it. You're fighting a losing battle and you're giving over more than you can afford. This is a good call from them. Yeah, they lose the round, but they lose arguably the minimum that they could have given the situation.
Mhm.
Good decision from BCU. But Radford really handled
We are
it.
strong because we are
They
together.
don't over-aggress
Don't
on
forget
B.
that.
They again identified that it could have been stacked, and in this case, Rika was sitting in the cubby rather than sitting in the close 90-degree angle inside the site itself. That would have been disastrous should they have done it. But it wasn't.
But they didn't. It's all good. 5 up for Radford. Going into this 8th round here. They do have a bye. Got weapons
Yeah.
again. they played a lot more chaotic in the opener here on Abyss. Question is, how much more of that are they willing to throw into there? Breach is going to push the Aftershock out. Number 2 super deep, but Hariri is going to get the kill first onto number 2 and able to get out with the tailwind.
Wait, nobody else is there for an immediate follow-up. Everybody should be swinging this, and somehow they're not.
Enemy
At least one
kill.
player's seen. Wow, Insanity was
Here.
identified.
He just
And now
knows.
they still know Arfie's there. Do they look for the high angle? They don't really have to. Good
They know
Aftershock, better Shrouded Step, and Hariri gets overzealous. Wait a second, with Hariri dead, and I do not believe the operator's been retrieved, a 3v4 is not unreasonable here.
No, it's not, and they're all balled up together. So if they take a duel, they take a duel as a 3-on-1.
One
John's
enemy
able
remaining.
to get the trade back. Milk's able to get the last one there as RFE grabs one. So that 3-on-4 quickly
Weapon
turns
here.
into a 2-on-0. They're not able to recover the op for Briar Cliff. They head into this round opless.
Here.
The one big problem there for Radford was
Here.
they had no mid control for the entire round, which in and of itself is not a bad thing.
Yes,
But
this should go.
combine that with the fact that you don't take any control of sewers,
That goes there.
and you over push yourself in towards A main, you've given up
Here.
mid control, you've now given up your spawn control, and you could
Where
be
are
pincered
you?
from the far side of A site or sewers. And in this case, it was really all of the above. They didn't take back through A main, but they didn't really have to. Radford left way too many opportunities for BCU to take a full advantage, and that's
Cage
what happened.
triggered.
BCU identified a weak spot, in this case, 2 of them, and pressured on both, and each side collapsed.
Here.
A lot of pings down already.
I must wait a moment.
Cat does have one. Number 2
Cage
jumps
trigger
back to the
twice
site.
is
Not
fine.
gonna be able to get a kill. Flashpoint does come through. Number 2's able to get one onto Milk. That's the opener that they're looking for. They haven't gotten one in a round or two, as Hariri had a couple
Spike down
round.
A.
Nice shot from number 2. Freight with 2 more and 3. Finish it out. Shu's got a kill, and it's left into a 2-on-2.
That's a lockdown
Spike
here.
planted.
Problem is, Jun's still alive and has the Hunter's Fury to counter it. You'd really only be nullifying the opposite of
You should
the
run.
ultimate, and that's going to be the case. Hunter's Fury should be popped almost immediately here.
I am the
There we go.
hunter!
Will
One
make out the
enemy
lockdown,
remaining.
and it basically
Last
gets
player
nullified, but it goes
standing.
for a 1-for-1 trade. Jun now in a 1-versus-1 should think Shu is still sitting
Chuck that.
inside a cubby, but a depth camera saw Shu walk over towards the far side of sight. And now it becomes the game of fate on a 1v1, and Shu guesses wrong. They put themselves in a position where they could have been swung from either side, and naturally, they're swung by the wrong side. BCU now 4 in a row, and Radford have to be thinking, wait, where'd our lead go?
Yeah, they
A bow and arrow
had
is
a very
old-fashioned,
close first
but
map.
sometimes
that
old
ended
ways are
13-10.
best.
We had a very one-sided second map that ended 13-3. This map's looking a lot closer to being the first map than it was to be the second map. Radford still have a lead here. They have enough money that they should be able to get a buy-in. Right, you can see a Sanity and Tenity just kind of buy something here. It won't be perfect. Over on the other side, Hariri can drop for 2 if they really want to invest here. Actually, can drop for 1 if they really want to invest here. I don't know how much you really want to invest into this round, but I kind of expect to see a full buy from both teams here. Ricka probably on the Spectre, and you probably see Insanity and Tenati on the Spectres as well. Expect Milk
Good
to
timing
get
on the
dropped
timeout.
here. Yeah, I think this is a good timeout for both sides. I think Radford kind of needs to figure out what's going on, and I think Briar Cliff probably need to calm down a second and just kind of reset themselves. They've gotten like four rounds out of the last 5 that were really close, and they kind of need to figure out where they are, where it's close, and where they're not using the lead that they have, or where they are getting these leads and not using them to the best extent.
I mean, Radford's still in a similar spot, but the main problem they've been losing compared to the first 5-ish rounds is mainly opening kills. They haven't had an advantage from the start like they did early in this game, and that's where they've been lacking in a big way. Tech pause here, by the way, if you're wondering, hey, the timer's stopped. Why is my screen frozen? I'm only about 1,500 pixels. That's why. I would not be surprised if Radford here are thinking, hey, this is great. We need a few more seconds on this timeout.
Yeah.
Just slow down. Because I'm going to be honest, it has not been a great second part of this first half for them.
No, they started they started the half really well, right? They got the pistol, they got the bonus, they got the conversion from the bonus. They kind of just slapped their wall on the table and it went really well. but it hasn't seemed like they've really been able to get much since. They got the one round after, and they got a round in between Briar Cliff's 4, but it wasn't. None of those rounds felt very convincing. On the other side, on the Briar Cliff side, none of those rounds felt very convincing either. It feels like after that sprint of the 4 rounds, every single round has been a flip flop. Could have gone either way.
And that felt like what it was on Abyss. It was just every one of those Radford was winning the coin flip rounds. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have been, but they were because, again, praying to some deity above and finally getting some answers. BCU here getting something back, but this is still early stages. Again, Radford had a great defense on both Bind and back on Abyss. I would not be surprised if that continues here. But remember, BCU kept things at least at an arm's length on Bind. Never really had problems. That wasn't the case on Abyss. It's certainly the case here.
No, it's not. I'm trying to get a little bit of space here. Shockdart's trying to clear that close corner. June's just sticking in the window, waiting for this smoke to pass. They push a lot of bullets through it, trying to get anything, but not going to get a single hit. We see Rika just sitting in this corner again.
No way.
Sandy's able to get one onto June.
Does Rika
Here.
get any action this time? That's the real question. There's an alarm bot set up outside of A main. Keep an eye on that. But Rika, just clean in this position, has yet to have any factor. Number 2 is about to swing and clear them, but as they do, they lose the fight. Importantly, there's a near sight and the rolling thunder thrown.
30
but
seconds
nobody
left.
actively takes a duel off the back of it. And they're still playing defense on B, but not as heavily. And that would be a great time for Radford to do everything
Ball
other than
coming
go A. And luckily, looks like they're
Ball
making
coming
back.
That was a really good shrouded step
Blocking sight.
from
Nowhere
the
to run!
10
insanely
seconds
good
left.
shrouded step to make sure they didn't die. Hariri's gonna get overwhelmed here, and Sandy's gonna get the kill needed to get this spike down. Rika's gonna be the first one back into the site. Nice kill from Rika and from Freight. 2-on-2 here. Radford's just hoping they can hold on to the site. Only 8 bullets for Rika. Question is, does Arfi push through the smoke at all? They seem to be a little bit scared. Arfi knows that Freight is there.
Last player
Falls.
standing.
Arfi goes
One
down.
enemy
So
remaining.
does Rika.
Cover going out.
Just the last one alive here. Shroud goes over the spike.
Spray's missing.
Kennedy's all the way down long. He's holding it. He's just holding it. Kennedy can't do anything. The hold is good. 5-5.
Why use the recon bolt at the last second? You're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, he's absolutely sticking. Let me, instead of taking more bullets and throwing them at him, let me try and find out where he is just in time to not have any time to shoot at him. And then you actually miss the recon bolt anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But that internal decision has to be recon bolt now or recon bolt never. Literally a now or never decision. And BCU just escaped with that round, and they absolutely should not have been able to.
High game going into the 11th round here. Only one more round this half after this one. If we could have a tie game going into the second half of the third map. A little poetic here, considering how the first map went. And for that matter, how the second map went. Riri may get spotted by this drone. Will not get spotted, but kills number 2 quickly.
Number 2 gone early. Radford again lose the opening duel battle. Last time it was because of Rika. This time it's the jet on jet action. And you're internally thinking again, where is the Radford advantages early round gone? Here, they're non-existent. Benefit is no one's on B other than the backside of Gong, but as soon as that timing gets off, it's going to go your way. Hariri goes for a second. Kennedy's gone, and honestly, so may be the round. No scope misses with the operator, and now it's just panic mode for Hariri, and it's still working. He gets help from
Spike
Freight. That
down
should have
B.
never happened.
One enemy
Freight goes for a
remaining.
second. Will we see a full house? No. Freight dies as well. 1v3 for RP. It'll be a 4K clutch if he can pick it up. But barring divine intervention back the other direction, it's not going to happen, and it doesn't. A minimum of a tie at halftime guaranteed.
Yeah, BC
Last
has really
round
come back.
in the half.
They've been 6-2 in the last 8 rounds. Really good. It's like really, really good.
6 straight, or is it 6? Or
It's
7?
not 6 straight. It's 2, then 1 for Radford, then 4 straight.
Okay, so 6 or 7. Still good.
6 of 7, 6 of the last 8. You know, same thing. Dark cover goes through really deep into the spawn over this alarm bot. With 2 people on A long, they really want to make sure that no one's there. Number 2, though, is running straight into the site. Is Rika going to be ready? Rika will be ready, but he won't get anything. Shu will get the first kill onto Rika. Arfi planting right now. They want to get this round over done with and quick. They started towards B. They finished towards B. Number 2's looking over. Will not spot the owl drone. Will spot the jet. Just get the first kill onto that. June, though, grabs a kill back. Arfi trades again.
Enemy down.
Great sitting in the back of the site, ready for anything, but
Last
Will's gonna be the
player
first one at the bottom of the
standing.
site. Down at top mid, and it's just right left. Blinding! Flashpoint will go through, runs through the smoke. Will not be able to spot anyone. First kill onto Shu. Clean. Sanity back towards Gong. Will not get the kill. So, Radford does tie it up at the end. But that's their first round win in 6
Switching
rounds.
sides.
It had been a little while. And the side swap here for Radford, it's again a situation where BCU would love the pistol, but here they don't need it as much as they did it back on Abyss. They had not as many coin flip rounds that went against them. I think only 1 of them, and that was in the early stages. Radford did not have nearly any of the dominoes fall in their direction. And BCU, I mean, the only round they lost was kind of their own doing, and that was all the way back in round 12. The first half was very one-sided, apart from, I'd say, pistol onwards towards the early stage. You could see that. But I mean, 6 of 7 rounds in the middle of things. Radford need more consistency
going out.
round if they want to have any hope of winning Haven here.
Hurry about the sheriff again. We talked about this earlier. Save with number 2. Sheriff's
Here.
a scam.
9-3
I will
versus a scam
have
too,
this
but I won't
point
get
for
into math.
forever. You can ask any of my co-casters I've had with Valorant. I have stood by Sheriff is a scam ever since I started casting this game. I will not stop my anti-sheriff propaganda.
It's not propaganda if it's true.
You know what? That's a good point. It's a very good point.
Sheriff's really just a hit your headshots kid kind of gun, or if you don't hit your headshots, you're like, why is
You
this gun
die.
$800 or 800 credits?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm of the same belief. I don't hit my headshots. I'll take a
Oh,
judge
no.
though. Hand me a judge, I'm happy. I like that side of the justice system. I don't know about the sheriff. It's kind of hit or miss for me. In this case, a lot of misses. Radford has 3 players actively on C. One of them is kind of off on this far side of spawn. But
Spike
wins the
planted.
first fight. A little bit of help was there. They've given up spike control, but they really don't need to play for that immediately.
Nice
Number
shot.
2, there's the sheriff, but it was to the body, so the scam still applies.
One
I
enemy
think that's
remaining.
the round, and it is indeed. Jun finds 2, Rika 1. It's not gonna matter. Radford win another pistol. They go 2 for 2 on Haven. And if I have done
Oh,
my
no, you
mental
don't
gymnastics
deserve my
correctly,
inventions.
4 for 6 overall in this series.
4 for 6 overall in the series, and it's a good round for Radford to win. They need to start pulling some rounds together. Momentum-based team, they want to win rounds in a row. We saw them at the start of the game. They won a couple
Placing
rounds in a row.
alarm bot.
They got hard stuck on one of them, and they haven't looked the same since. So hopefully they're able to take this one, the bonus. Hopefully they can even try and get the conversion here.
Placing sentry.
Going up 9-6 would be a great place for them to start the full buy round.
BCU, more importantly, lose early stages of this second half again. Yeah, they can recover, but how much will it be impactful? Last time we only saw them bring it back to Insanity's been C.
Going
Disastrous for them. Aftershock trying to stave off the defeat, and they will for the time being. Flash out as well. They've got more and more health, and they're still alive. 1 bullet dispector, they've got to reload, and RP's just got covered.
1 enemy
One
remaining.
HP from
Yes,
Insanity.
plant. It doesn't matter. Rates of 105, and RP finds a 3-piece. All on the back of a game of bait and switch from their breach. Perfection. Radford,
Gun here.
at least as close as you can get to it. 4 players stay alive, and they win their conversion.
Yeah, and able to use the breach's 1 HP to
Thanks.
their advantage there, to just kind of bait them out. As you said, nice little bait and switch
It
there.
is over.
Up 8-6 now.
Revealing area.
Your hope, if you're Radford here, is to see, can you win the bonus round? Can you pull a miracle out of nowhere?
So, along with some agent stats, fortunately, there are also map stats on the spike. And Haven's map stats go as such. It's picked about 17% of the time. That includes decider rounds. Attackers win 49.5% of the time. Defense wins 50.52. The attack wins 46% of pistols. So the defense has won the pistol here. But the conversion rate is actually lower for the defense than it is on the attack. It's 88 versus 81. But Radford beats the odds in the first half in pistol round win, and the second half on conversion round win, just turning it into a bonus round victory as well. VCU, to understate the obvious, they cannot afford to lose here, and I don't think they're going to escape with it. Oh, another
Spike
kill?
down
They haven't got
A.
anything here.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no, it's over. It's so over.
Yeah, going up 9-6 here means your economy's a little reset for Briarcliff. They definitely invested partially into this round.
Long.
Get a quick eco check here at the end of the round. Yeah, they invested a bit. They have buys here. I don't know how much it really matters.
Here.
So I don't know. They're in a very weird situation because Radford have enough weapons to make this interesting. But even if they don't, they have enough to buy next round. If Radford go up 10-6 here, the money's broken over on the Briarcliff side, and it looks like Radford's steamrolling their way through to a victory, but
Cage triggered.
I'm never sure with this kind of stuff.
Great camera. You basically completely nullify all of aiming.
I must wait a moment.
And information. You see the Jet has played forward a little bit, and actually number 2 has to back away. Can't blame him.
No,
But
not at all.
you said it. If BCU gives up 10 here, not only is it 10 rounds, which in and of itself is a bad thing, but you have no money, which another bad thing. You've lost now 4 in a row. Technically 5 if you go back to the tail end of the second half, which, again, this is if Radford win here. And you're just demoralized. Losing 4 rounds to start off a half, plus the last round of the previous, which could have given you the halftime lead, just does not help the mental. And
No.
it comes down to an open kill. I sincerely believe opening kill here probably decides the round.
I think you're probably right, but both teams are very spread out here. So it may not be, if Briarcliff gets an opening kill, it may not decide the round as much as if Radford gets an opening kill.
They know number 2's here.
Yep. Takes a nice little spot out.
Huh?
Jumps away.
30
What's
seconds
the
left.
Cypher doing?
He's in cam. He was in
That
cam
wasn't
up
a
until
good
that point.
idea. He knew he was there. Just take the fight.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, so she's going to give up Garage right now. Paranoia comes
Bomb
through
grenade
for the
out.
Omen
Bomb
on
grenade
the
out.
attacking side, and there's 4 members suddenly on the C side. Riri comes up and
Maybe
over,
not the
but
10 seconds
advisable.
left.
Oh no!
Yeah. Nothing more for Hariri. RP's going to get the first one there. They're just kind of trying to push
One
back.
enemy
The
remaining.
reinforcements
Spike
coming in.
down,
RP gets
C.
one. Sandy gets one. Tanati gets one. And Milk is the last one alive. It doesn't matter. Defenders win the round. It's 10-6. And the money situation for Briarcliff is brutal.
Breaking news, taking a calendar year to establish a site take doesn't help your late round any helpfulness at least. BCU just could not get in quickly enough, and as soon as they did, they forgot the backside of site could have been occupied. For some reason, an updraft onto the top of the C boxes, that wasn't a good idea. You die immediately.
That's a couple times this series that either Jets have done this updraft over a box, because we saw it happen on Abyss, we saw it happen in the first map on Bind, and it just didn't feel good for any of the times that they did it. Right? It felt that every single time the Jet gave their life up to hopefully get something better for the team, but it didn't feel better for the team.
I don't know. This was a case where they absolutely could have won that. Couple things needed to go differently, though. Number one, they did not need to clear the back of site. Sometimes you can take what you are given, and that's all you need. In this case, they had the dark cover covering the back site. They could have, and more importantly, should have, just been happy with the spike plant. But instead, they get overzealous. They give up too much control. Then they get their spike planter killed, and I mean,
Right
again, their
there.
Cypher was off on an island. That lurk needs to start to rein itself in the tail end of this round, and it just has not on a consistent basis. Congratulations, you've gained A main control, and that's perfect for when you get the spike plant. And that is if you get the spike plant.
See the Guardian be one of the first weapons that they've bought in here
Here.
for BCU. It's one of the only weapons they can really afford now. And they had to spend a lot to get that. They had to force in with basically everything they've got here. To just kind of hope to get around. You see Hariri is sitting on light shields. Rika goes down early from RP.
Yikes.
Nice shot from
My
number
ult's
2
ready.
to stop the A main push. They jump around the corner. Not going to be able to take down Hariri. We'll be able to get away, though, with just 11 HP. Kill.
Milk is caught with timing. That's just disastrous. I mean,
Yeah,
5v2.
Number 2. They keep trying to juggle this point. Trying to see if they'll push up on him. Give him something. Shot through. Won't hit anyone.
Scanning ahead.
Through.
One enemy
Come
remaining.
bolt deep. Number 2's
Flawless.
got one. Sandy's got the other. It's a flawless round. 11 on the board for Radford.
If you're not a
And
good
the money
shot today,
has to be
don't
so
worry.
broken
There are
now
other
for
ways
Briar
to
after
be
that
useful.
last buy-in.
I mean, the important question is what money? BCU just has nothing to work with. Radford has been playing near every advantage. Opening kill was the deciding factor in now back-to-back rounds. And BCU have lost whatever traction they gained. Again, they were down 4-0. They brought back a 5-5 draw. Actually had the lead at 6-5 for a second. And then
Blocking
since then,
sight.
they've given up 6 rounds in a row. It is just the defensive side who has determined nearly everything. And now it's an A rush to try and salvage whatever they can. Problem is they don't have all that many long-range weaponry. Good news, they've taken the site.
They have taken the site, and Joan has planned.
Like planted.
Joan's going to come out. Can they get anything close? Shoot got one. And Sandy's got the other. He's blind. Running in.
enemy
The
remaining.
Sheriff is going to take care of Rika. Joan's the last one. Leverage got 2. Oh, the Bulldog reload is so bad, but it's a reload mutually. She doesn't have anything, but, you know, they have vision. They have knowledge now. And she's going to jump around the corner, take that with a right-click classic, and puts Radford not only on map point, but match point.
June was on just 9 HP. The classic just needed to breathe on him a little bit. It would have killed him. You gotta feel so bad for Milk. He was supposed to be the coverage there.
Match
on
point.
the 90 angle. But instead, June got nearsighted by a paranoia and was staring at purple. And could not cover their team, who was honestly relying on it. You miss an op shot, you just lose so much, and you're still blind as they finish the fight with your teammates and turn to you and are like, oh wait, you still can't see anything. The beauty of abilities. And sometimes those are the determining factor. In that case, it was. 12-6. This is basically the game. BCU already called their timeout. They've got 4 ultimates. That's the good news. Bad news, they didn't use a single one in the previous round. At that point, they had 3, by the way.
What more can Briar Cliff do right here in order to start getting rounds together? It feels like they keep giving away kills early, except for the last round where they were able to get onto the site, get the spike down, and then they kind of gave it away in the post plan. It feels like they just keep giving these unnecessary kills away.
Quick tech pause. Again, if you're wondering why your top of the screen is frozen, it's only a tech pause. Seemingly nothing is broken just yet, but
It's only a tech pause, he says.
it's only a tech pause. I don't know.
Only
Hopefully
a
it's
tech
fixed.
It could be
Not sure
something.
exactly what the problem is. While we have a second, the scoreboard. went
Can
away,
we
so
bring the
talk
scoreboard
about
back up?
it. Yeah. 10 kills for both Rika and Freight, 12 for
Ooh.
Milk and June. Hariri just bringing up the rear and not in a good way on the duelist role.
Can we note
But-
that going into this last round, that the entirety of BCU, with the exception of Rika, is all on light shields?
I mean, they are against Vandals. That's important. No, that's...
There's a Phantom.
It really doesn't matter either way. Unless somebody gets shot through the wall, it requires the same amount of shots to the body
for both light and full shields, which is really
Yeah.
stupid, by the way. Whoever decided to do the math on that one, terrible.
But it doesn't feel good, and I wouldn't say that it is a huge benefit to them right now to have
True.
the light shields. Actually, light shields with an op is actually a big deal.
Wall bangs, yeah.
Makes it a lot closer. If you get hit with an op shot in the leg, you're way closer to the death than you with lights than you were with full armor.
So, importantly, Shu finished last game 7-13 on the Cypher. Here on the Killjoy, same role on a closer game, interestingly. They are doing better. So
Yep.
keep that in mind. They were also the bottom fragger back on Bind. And yet, this game, they seem to be running away. Arfie's doing a pretty good job as well. It seems like everybody's doing their fair share on Radford. And if you're not, I mean, you're winning 12-6. You don't really need to be doing your fair share.
Yeah, the first half was definitely a little brutal, right? Like if you were on the Radford side and you weren't performing the first half and that kind of continued, then we'd have a little bit more questions. But because Radford have just taken over the second half completely, right? They've won 6 in a row now to start the second half. They're on match series map points. It kind of doesn't matter to a point of like you're doing what the team's asked you to do.
I heard somebody type in chat. I don't know what they said, nor whether it was good or not. But hopefully things are fixed. For the time being, you have to look at our faces. Otherwise, you just
I'm
hear
so
people
sorry.
jumping around. It kind of gets annoying.
Yeah.
This could be amazing for BCU because they're out of timeouts. So this is a situation, unlike on LAN, where you can talk to one another and technically your coach, but we'll see. Luckily,
And
as soon as we went to our faces, we're back into the game.
We should do that more often. We should just jump to casters instantly in such a way that we curse it.
Next week. Yeah, but then
Okay.
if we're cognizantly thinking about it, we're not going to curse.
That's a good point. Someone surprise us.
Yeah.
Number 2 took a shot on the Hariri. Nothing hit. Nothing connected. Number 2's re-aggress this here now. We'll get taken out by Hariri.
No.
It's just one person.
I
left on the
know
site.
exactly.
Your
where
feet!
Neuro Theft goes through. Rolling Thunder as well. That's 2 ults given in. Can't keep him once the game ends, so use him now.
They've also got Hunter's Fury. Watch for the spike plant, especially where it's placed. They may try and go aftershock into the
Spike
jump
planted.
into hell. Insanity's going to They've also got Rolling Thunder. That could be the timing back the other direction. But it seems like Radford have to go, and they have to go now. Take advantage of the fact that they cannot use the Hunter's Fury immediately, especially from that close cut of long. There's the spray, there's the kill. Nobody's long. Insanity was like,
One
wait,
enemy
no,
remaining.
they don't need him.
Oh, but it
Quick,
just doesn't
1
matter.
versus 2. Can't find it. Strike for the kill. Radford escape unscathed. 13-6. That could be decided. A 2-1 series victory. They'll
Thanks.
get out of week 1 with a victory.
I mean, yeah, it's a good
You
way to start
failed.
for Radford, and
Now
it kind
flee.
of shows a bit of like
Defenders
tenacity
win.
for them. Because you watch the
Direct
first
and
map
hunted.
that they did. The very first map was 10-13, right? It was a brutal first map to start. You get a really good second map, you win the second map, and then you start this map with a really close first half. And they had the ability to come back from that really close first half and kind of make it all work and bring the map together. Now, I would like to say that I know it ended 6-13, but this map was closer than I think that it would have really been considered if you're just looking at the score. Maybe if you look at the first half versus second half score, you'll understand a little bit more. But the first map and this third map were very competitive. The second map a bit less. But it does seem that Radford University come away with a win in the first week.
Yeah, a clean sweep in the second half as well for Radford. They won 8 straight rounds, 7 of them in the second half of play. They picked up at least where they left off in the early stage of the first half here, especially with Abyss. They looked good in the second and third stages of this best of 3. Interestingly, they lost more rounds on Bind than they did on Abyss and Haven combined. And it seemed like Haven was a little bit more concerning than it actually was. Their defense was clean as ever. Their attack, it had some falterings, but they won the early stage of both halves. They won a pistol, conversion, bonus, first full gun round of each half. And then the second half, they decided, oh yeah, we don't really want to play Haven anymore. We've got homework to do. Let's get out of here. And they just won it.
So that's going to call it for us for the night as Radford take their win. Just remember for everyone, tomorrow night is Friday Night Fighting. Smash will be on stream at 8/7 Central with our good friends I think it's Trav and Crow. They will be here
Yes.
tomorrow night to talk about Smash, so we get to have a good time then. But until then, we're going to be done for the night. I've been Mechatronic. This has been Time to Light. We've had a great production staff behind the scenes. Thank you to all of them. But we will see you all next week on Thursday to continue Unified's Collegiate League Fall Valorant Premiere season. Have a nice night.